whipped cream and the cherry on top. It's like a little bow on top of this great present of peppermint chip goodness. It tastes like the holidays.
Hey, my name is Chandler, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A peppermint chip milkshake is the little pieces of the peppermint that you get. For me, no milkshake is topping the peppermint chip milkshake.
Order a Chick-fil-A peppermint chip milkshake on the Chick-fil-A app today. Available for a limited time. Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Into.
We are Dayton's home of the Ohio State Buckeyes.
And into the end zone goes Chris Olave. KJ Hill, 6-yard touchdown catch. Right sideline and down he goes to the end zone.
WING 1410 Dayton's ESPN Radio.
All right, everybody, happy Monday. Welcome in. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, live here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. Mr. Kev Nash, happy Monday.
What up, Doe?
This is not our Monday because me and you, we had the Justin Kinner Show, although it was minus Kev Nash on Saturday. You were still with us on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then it was basically the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash yesterday from Frickers, of course, the Sunday morning tailgate show. Keith Byers was in Philadelphia as an honorary captain for the Eagles as he watched Philadelphia whoop up on the Titans. That was actually the most interesting game of the day. There was no other game in the NFL.
What a weekend down there at Cincinnati
Yeah.
for Reds Fest. Tons of cool pictures on the Facebook page. I know we got some interviews from that we're going to be playing a little bit later on. Then obviously the big news of the weekend, Ohio State got into the college football playoff, and then it was some game that happened in Cincinnati.
Yeah. By the way, I didn't post. So after the show yesterday, I had like the world's worst migraine. I went home. I slept all day, and woke up with some major, like my tooth is just killing me today. Okay. And I refuse to go to the dentist. I'm terrified of dentists. Like they scare the hell out of me, but I'm about to go. I've already called. I'm going. But so I didn't tweet anything. I didn't Facebook anything. Okay. And I need to know this, you weird Bengals fans. Why do you need me to post about something? Like, I thought it was creepy how many Bengals fans reached out. What, you got nothing to say? What, Kenner, nothing to say? Nothing to say? Am I not allowed to have a migraine? I didn't even have anything about the Browns winning yesterday. I didn't have anything about the Buckeyes making the playoffs yesterday. Show ended. I was out for the day. So y'all hate me, but you need my opinion. You need my take. I am flattered. Thank you. It does make me feel good.
Well, luckily,
weirdos need my opinion on something.
Luckily for everybody, we have a 3-hour show. You can give all your hot takes right here on 1410 Wing AM. Tune in.
So, but in all seriousness, if you're thinking that I'm going to find a way to water down, we're opening up with the Bengals. But we spent all last week on Ohio State, all weekend on Ohio State, basically, and we are going to get to Ohio State because there was more big news out of Columbus that was just announced.
Goodness.
That is news to y'all. It ain't news to me. I've been calling it for since he went out, the third or fourth time. I mean, I don't know, but we'll get to Jackson Smith and Jigba in a moment. But Cincinnati, I have you. If we were putting out our power rankings today, Kev, I think that switch is flipped. That this is a better version of the Bengals than what we saw throughout last couple of weeks and into the postseason. And they're top 3. It sucks. I hate it.
Top 3?
They're top 3. Look,
I have to look back at my top 10 from last week. Obviously, they'll
top
be moving
4.
up.
I'll put them up there. I think the Bills are still right there at the top. So I've had the Chiefs there. Bottom line is, forget the order. We'll do the order tomorrow. But the top 4 teams in the NFL right now, the Cleveland Browns. What? They get Deshaun back. They just start winning. The defense comes back.
Carolina Panthers.
No. San Fran, baby. Let's go, Baker. Baker got cut today. He's going to San Fran. No, the Bills, the Bengals, the Chiefs, and the Eagles are the 4 best teams in the NFL. And it's all because of the quarterbacks, but it's also because all those teams. And the reason that the defense for the Bengals yesterday, well, everyone's enamored with Joe Burrow. Fine. Y'all win. Y'all can have him. That's fine. Okay. I don't know why y'all need to have me not drooling over. That's what ticks people off. I don't drool over Burrow, and that just irritates. They can't wrap their minds around it. I'm like, I think he's good. He's solid. But I watched a quarterback last night, Scantling and Juju Smith-Schuster, his two best receivers, and he's still a better quarterback than your guy would. There's the backhanded compliment, but I got that out of my system. I still look, the Bengals, they're killing me. They're good. They're good. That defense is fantastic. The run game, P. Ryan, that has to be your dude. Joe Mixon, sorry about you. Sorry. You're like, we can't, the Bengals can't, like, when he comes back, they can't force feed him the ball just because he gets paid more than P. Ryan does. P. Ryan is a difference maker. That was why they won that game yesterday. Joe Burrow is why they won. Relax. I'm not in a mood today. I'm telling you, Joe Burrow, it was Joe Burrow versus Patrick Mahomes. It was the real deal. It was a heavyweight matchup because of the quarterbacks. But the Bengals don't win that game yesterday, Kev, without P. Ryan. Like the yards he picked up on the ground, and it wasn't just the yards that he picked up, it was the timing of which he made those big plays. He extended drives, big third down plays too, or even second and long to, you know what I mean, to make it a third and short. I was very impressed with P. Ryan yesterday. Joe Burrow made every big throw that he needed to make, and honestly, they weren't big throws. They weren't big pickups. They were just 10 to 15 yards, just yardage. Yeah. Relax. See, thank you. Cause you're looking out. I appreciate that. They weren't big. Last year was those home run plays. The Bengals won because of home run plays last year. They're not getting those as much this year. And, you know, I thought that they almost screwed up. The defense saved them by punching that ball out from Kelsey, because I think the Chiefs going to win that game if that turnover doesn't happen. The defense stepping up was huge, forcing that turnover against Kelsey, because the Juju Smith-Schuster drop that he would or Tyler Boyd, I'm sorry, Juju Smith-Schuster. Tyler Boyd, the Tyler Boyd drop. I mean, luckily you made that mistake in a win. You make that mistake and your team loses. Juju Smith, or why do I keep calling him Juju Smith-Schuster?
I don't know. Juju don't drop passes.
Yeah,
he's just slow.
Yeah,
he's just not fast. That's all.
He's never open enough to drop those in those moments. But no, Boyd, he would love to have that back. But you know what I mean? Like, they settled for field goals a couple times down in that red zone that I was like, that's going to cost you, because the defense for Cincinnati was getting carved up by Patrick Mahomes in weird moments or in big moments. But give Cincinnati credit, because that win yesterday, I have nothing to say. I have no criticisms. Joe Burrow played at an MVP level. The offense was the most well-rounded offense on the field yesterday. I'll take the star power of the Bengals over the Chiefs. You got Tyler Boyd, you got T. Higgins, you got Jamar Chase. P. Ryan stepped in, not a well-known name, doesn't have to be. The Bengals have depth at that position that we didn't think that they had. So good for the Bengals. And then defense, the big plays that they're at the end. They got to Patrick Mahomes on that third down to set up the field goal that they ultimately missed. That was huge. And then they never gave the ball back. Like, that's the thing. So kudos to the Bengals. I got nothing. Y'all win. Y'all broke me. You happy? I have nothing to say. So there you go. But the Bengals right now, if this is who they are moving forward, they will be. It's the Bengals or the Chiefs or the Bills coming out of the AFC. I mean, those three teams right there. I'm going to put money on the Bengals and Chiefs running into each other again in the AFC title game. The Bills, I like, Kev, but that injury to Josh Allen, I think, is going to creep back up at some points. Like, he's just too physical of a quarterback that he's going to be vulnerable to a big injury moving forward. I also think there's more depth in Cincinnati. I think there's more depth and explosiveness is in Kansas City. But the Bengals Chiefs, I think we just saw, that's not the last time we're going to see those two teams play this year. That's just my estimation.
A couple things jumped out to me. End of the first half, 70-yard drive inside the red zone. Coach decides to go for the touchdown as opposed to kicking the field goal that would have put them up 7 going into halftime. They ultimately turn the ball over on downs. Kansas City gets the ball back after halftime. They drive the length of the field. They take the lead 17-14. I thought we would be coming on the show today talking about that moment right there.
Oh, me too.
Talking about not getting the point, because the reason I am all for aggressiveness. I like aggressive coaching, but if you go up 7 going into halftime and they get the ball back, they go down and score, guess what? It's a tie ball game as opposed to you trailing by 3. I know, real easy math. But, like, I thought we'd be talking about that. And the other thing that really jumped out to me outside of Pratt causing that fumble on Kelsey, who went to Cleveland Heights High School, by the way, after Kansas City missed that field goal, the Cincinnati Bengals grinded out the entire clock. I believe that was like 4.5 minutes.
Yep.
A 4.5-minute drive. So Patrick Mahomes never sees the ball again. They converted, I want to say, 3 third downs for first downs. So those are like the big plays that really stood out to me. And I mean, they had 10-play drive for 39 yards, but it's not the yardage, it's not the plays, it's the fact that you never gave Patrick Mahomes a chance to get the ball back because we know how dangerous he is when he still has the ball. So that was awesome. Like, those are like the small things that aren't going to go noticed. Like the things that are going to show up in the highlight film is going to show like that Joe Burrow throws a dart to T. Higgins for a touchdown. They're going to show the former running back from Michigan, Chris Evans, catching a touchdown from Joe Burrow. It's going to show the Pratt fumble. It's going to show the sack on Patrick Mahomes. It's not going to show them converting 3 first downs on that last drive to basically end the game. Well, not basically, they ended the game with that. So that's the biggest drive of the game for me. So when they still had the lead, they never gave the ball back because, normally in those situations, you maybe get 1 or 2 first downs and you ultimately punt the ball back to the other team. Players like a Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers, you leave them with 30, 45 seconds on the clock. Somehow a miracle happens and they get in field goal range and then it goes to overtime. So that for me was the biggest part of the game. Cincinnati Bengals basically to run a 4-minute offense, never to give Kansas City the ball back.
Bengals win over the Chiefs 27-24. Joe Burrow completes 25 of 31 passes. Just the efficiency too. And the reason you're seeing the efficiency of the pass game with him is like not a lot of incompletions.
Yeah.
I mean, he only threw the ball 31 times. And the thing that stood out to me was the balanced offense. They're like, the Bengals will win a Super Bowl. They can't rely on the pass game to do everything for them. I know you have T and you have, Boyd and you have Chase and all that. But what I liked was Zach Taylor yesterday. I think that if you guys, Bengals fans, y'all need to do a better job. And this is coming from me, who I've piled on Zach Taylor. I wasn't a fan of the hire, but let's be clear. What y'all do that drives me absolutely crazy is when they lose, it's because of him. And when they win, it's because of the players. That's what drives me crazy. That's not true. Zach Taylor is actually doing a lot of the same type of play calling that he was doing back in the beginning of the season, Kev. The difference is players are starting to execute. And what I mean by execute is the run game's starting to emerge.
Mm-hmm.
When there was no run game to start the season, everyone's like, oh, Joe, I can't believe Zach Taylor. How horrible. Run the football. He was running the football. Remember, my big argument to start the year was Joe Mixon had as many carries as Derrick Henry, as Nick Chubb. I know I'm missing another top running back in there that's driving me crazy right now. But the point is, Joe Mixon was top 5 in total carries in rush attempts to start the season. Everyone was ripping on him. 31 pass attempts for Joe Burrow and the Bengals yesterday, Kev, but 34 carries for the running backs yesterday. 21 of those going to Pirine. And I hate complimenting Joe Burrow, but I will say this. The plays he made with his arm yesterday, he ticks me off because I know he can make plays with his arm, but man, he extended drives yesterday when there was nothing there from his wide receivers. He rushed for 46 yards. He picked up, I think, 3 first downs, not just, having to rush for 1 yard, although, that goal line standby by Kansas City was huge right before the half. I thought that would come back to haunt him. And then, of course, when they, got, I think it was Carlos Dunlap got the big guy. He read it out. He snuck it out right there. He sniffed it out and was able to get that big tackle. But Pirine yesterday, 106 yards. He didn't score a touchdown, but he's why they won yesterday because they were able to control tempo. There's a lot of guys why they won yesterday, to be fair. Relax. I have to over-enunciate things because people think I'm hating or backhanded compliments. It was just that was the best team win for the Bengals all season. That was the best game I've watched from them all year. Y'all think I just like to hate for no reason. There's nothing to hate on. They beat the best team in the NFL yesterday, 27-24, and now maybe they are the best team in the NFL. I don't know. I still like the Chiefs. I don't think losing takes that category away from them. We've seen them do it. We've seen them do it longer. But Cincinnati's been pretty consistent as of late. They beat the Titans last week. Now you beat the Chiefs. You got nothing from me. I ain't going to hate today. There's nothing to hate on.
3 in a row over the Chiefs. 3 in a row. Didn't see that coming.
And to be fair, who picked the Bengals yesterday?
You did.
I picked them to win. Just throwing it out there. Maybe, you know me, I'm jolly this time of year. 'Tis the season. Big old softy.
'Tis the season to be merry.
Mark Smith, he's one of them weirdos that had to private message the Justin Kinder Show Facebook page. What do you think about the Bengals? Because he was upset because I didn't have no post about the Bengals yesterday. Just say the word, Kinder. What word? What word am I saying, Mr. Mark Smith? So what up? Sal says, line took a beating first 4 weeks. Time to give them some credit.
True that.
Sal, it wasn't just the first 4 weeks. I mean, as of up until 3 weeks ago, when we were watching them, that's not necessarily true. They took a beating the first 4 weeks. Then they played a couple bad teams in the mix there, Kev. But then you remember around the time they played Cleveland, Joe Burrow got destroyed against Cleveland, but Joe Burrow had also got hit a lot the previous week. Joe Burrow was getting hit a ton. Since Cleveland, they've been a different football team. So, yes, they played well yesterday, and that's what Zach Taylor made sure to give credit to was the offensive line during the press conference.
I think he was only sacked once against the Titans, considering he got sacked 9 times last time that they played against them in the playoffs.
So you are right. The O-line, Sal, absolutely. Mark Smith said elite. Oh, I'm not saying that. The Bengals might be close to being elite. Joe Burrow played elite yesterday. I'm not going to say elite yet with Joe B, but Joe Burrow's very good. He's in the MVP conversation. So is Tua. I'm not saying Tua's elite, but Tua's in the MVP conversation. Are you going to say Tua's elite? So there's that. Forrest, the Browns will beat the Bengals this weekend, though. We're not getting into that today. I'm not doing that.
Say that for Thursday.
Doug Toby, the line has really gelled, and now teams are afraid to blitz Joe Cool. Stop with Joe Cool. Just stop. Don't ruin this. We had a good thing going. Stop with the stupid nicknames. They played well yesterday. Don't do it. Don't. I'm just, you know what? This is a good time. Oh, no, wrong one there. Damn it. Here we go. We're going to step away for a few moments. That was 15 minutes of great Bengals radio without Kinner having to discredit anything, and that's not my goal. So
only one backhanded compliment.
It was well deserved. All right. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash. Bengals win over the Chiefs yesterday. How about the Browns? They also got a win. And I was hoping for a Bengals loss yesterday because that would have put the Browns within 2 games of the division. And again, miracles have to happen for the Browns, but a lot of things happened yesterday that was good for Cleveland. They're not winning that division, but a lot of AFC teams went down yesterday that you start paying attention. Like the Browns aren't there yet, but the door's cracked. The door's cracked. But a lot of people had a lot to say about Deshaun Watson's debut yesterday. In fact, he should just retire because one game means absolutely everything to y'all people. But if he played well, it would have been, it was Houston. But he played poorly, so that just means he sucks. You guys are interesting. We'll be right back. 518-1410. Reaction to the Bengals' huge win over the Chiefs. What does that mean for Cincinnati? Like I said, no hate for me. It's a top 4 football team in the NFL. They're right up there with the Bills, Chiefs, and now the Eagles. No hate for me. No hate for me. The Eagles, too, would have won for them yesterday.
What about your Cowboys?
They're very, very good. I don't put them there yet.
I mean, they're smashing teams.
They smashed the Colts.
But, I mean, smashed like 54. Like, that was a college football. Who did they just beat the other day where they put up like 40-something?
Was it Minnesota?
Vikings, yeah. You like the Vikings?
I do like the Vikings. I'm not putting money on the Cowboys to win. Just put it that way. We'll be right back.
You hate Dak. It's cool.
I'm a Cowboys fan. But let's see this. I can never get credit for just being. See, if I say, oh, they're great, I'm a homer. I do this. Dak is whack. Dak is pretty good against the Colts and
Vikings.
Vikings, the team that you don't even believe in.
I ain't talking about me. We're talking about you.
Exactly. We'll be right back. 518-1410. 518-1410. That's the number to call and jump in on the conversation. We'll be right back.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash.
Justin, you're awesome, baby.
Right here on 1410 ESPN Radio. ESPN 1410 Wing AM weather.
Today, sunshine early, followed by cloudy skies for the afternoon with a high of 49. Tonight, cloudy in the evening with showers after midnight, low of 42 degrees. And tomorrow, for your Tuesday, overcast with
Weather is brought to you by Cullet Propane. 98% of their customers recommend Cullet. If you wouldn't recommend your current supplier, check them out at culletpropane.com.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to 4hims.com/joy. At Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation and discreet shipping if prescribed. You'll love your results. To start your free online visit, go to 4hims.com/joy. That's FORHIMS.com/JOY.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Are you involved with a school or charitable fundraiser that holds an auction, bid and buy booth, or a raffle to raise money? Many of the most popular items at auctions or booths are autographed sports memorabilia items. How can you get great items in your event? Call Adam Walter at Sports Investments. Sports Investments has a consignment program for fundraisers that has provided outstanding items. You select items that are proven sellers, including autographed pieces from Tiger Woods, LeBron James, Joey Votto, the Big Red Machine, the Bengals, the Browns, UC, XU, UK, NKU, Dayton, Louisville, Notre Dame, and Ohio State. Sports Investments consigns the items to your group at a highly discounted price. And when they sell, you keep the profit. You don't pay anything in advance. And if something doesn't sell, you simply return it. You'll enjoy the experience of dealing with the Walter family. Call them at 513-891-5000. Email Adam at sportsinvestments.com or visit them on Montgomery Road, right off I-275, just 40 minutes from WING.
People here are raving about QC Kinetics and how regenerative medicine has changed their life. People like Helen, an avid mountain climber who got sidelined when an accident left her knees in constant pain.
I was not able to train or do really anything on my knee.
Helen was told surgery would be her only option. But then she found QC Kinetics and was treated with natural biologics designed to repair and restore tissue in her knees. 3 months later, she was climbing the highest mountain in North America.
I got a very quick resolution to my pain. I began treatment in March, and I summited Denali June the 7th. It was super successful, and I recommend everyone seek out QC Kinetics as an alternative to surgery.
Get your life back with lasting results. No surgery, no drugs, no downtime. Call QC Kinetics today.
Call QC Kinetics, 937-936-0325. That's 937-936-0325. 937-936-0325.
Hi, this is Eddie Sorrell, Service Manager at Germain Honda of Beaver Creek, recipient of Honda's President's Award. When your vehicle needs service, we make it convenient. Open 6 days a week, including all day Saturday. We also welcome same-day appointments and walk-ins as well. Our technicians are factory trained, and we offer a new state-of-the-art facility, clean waiting rooms, loaner cars, and free alignment checks as well. Ask for the $99.95 alignment special. Germain Honda of Beaver Creek, Route 35, just east of 675 between Xenia and Beaver Creek.
Start your holiday gift giving with Esther Price Candy's traditional gold boxes. Variety of holiday baskets, corporate trays, bourbon cherries, holiday gifts, and much more. Visit any of their 7 locations in Dayton and Cincinnati, or shop online at estherprice.com and ship your family and friends their favorites. Your holiday tradition is at Esther Price Candies.
The homemade goodness everyone likes. There's a whole lot sweeter with fine chocolates from Esther Price.
Frickin' chicken chunks, frickin' chicken chunks, frickin' chicken chunks, frickin' chicken chunks.
When there's no time to make food for your holiday party, carry out 4 pounds of frickin' chicken chunks for only $34.99. Give the gift that always fits a $25 Frickers gift card and get 5 frickin' bonus pots free. Let them get what they really want.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
God, I'm so stressed about my business not being ready for the holidays.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 35 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Starts at $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger,
How would you recognize them? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. I am hungered in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerinAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
What makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination? Because they offer free battery testing and charging and reliable replacement batteries. And they've always got your battery solution. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Justin Kinner, Kev Nash, back with you here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. 518-1410, that's the number to call and jump in on the conversation, or you could be a part of the conversation live on the Justin Kinner Show Facebook page. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow along. Let's see. Let's go to Damon Hahn. He says the Bengals win against the Chiefs makes me buy in. The play style yesterday is a sustainable brand of football. This needs to be the style moving forward. Again, we talked about it, just the balance of the offensive attack. 31 pass attempts for Joe Burrow, 32 total rush attempts on the night from the Bengals offense. I mean, that, and that's the thing too. You got to take what the defense and what the game has given you. Because by the way, if Joe Burrow is just airing it out and the guys are open left and right, you got to keep passing.
Right.
So you know what I mean? Like, I don't like when we do this whole, they have to only 30 pass attempts and they have to run the ball 30 times. If the pass is there, great. But if you're running the ball and you're able to eat clock, especially when you have the lead, that's, you know what I mean? But that was a good brand yesterday. But the fact that the Bengals, even if they wanted to, up until as of late, I know Joe Mixon had that big game against the Panthers, but no one really felt like, the run game. Well, some Bengals fans believed it was back, but there was way too many games throughout the sample size of the season to make you still feel like he just had a good game versus, the run game is back. The run game has been back as of late, but it's been a lot more with Joe Mixon being out and Pirine getting the majority of the carries. And that's why when the Bengals get Joe Mixon back, at some point, you're going to have to ask yourself, if you're Zach Taylor, what do we do in this situation? If Joe Mixon cannot contribute the way he did last year he was a top 5 running back in the NFL. He is not that this year and definitely has not been this year. Pirine's not a top 5 running back. He doesn't have to be. The Bengals just need to run the ball. They need to eat clock when they get the lead like they did yesterday. And, being able to pick up first downs, especially on those 3rd and short type of situations or 2nd and short or what have you. But I thought yesterday was a very good game for the Bengals, and they have me buying in, and that's why I don't have a whole lot of hate today. But that was a close game, and, being able to win those close games is key because now you're battle-tested heading into the postseason. Doug Morgan disagrees, though. He says, really, the game wasn't even that close. Drop touchdown and no points at the end of the half. Also, no Hurst and no Mixon, even though Pirine balled out. That said, as a Bengals fan, I do not want to play Kansas City in the playoffs. Doug, great post, but you can't say the game was close.
Yeah.
In fact, when you think back to the play of the game, really came down to the fumble from Travis Kelce, who the defense for Cincinnati, he didn't have 1 catch or 1 yard in that first half.
Mm-hmm.
He did have a very good second half. He was pissed. He was angry. But when he had that catch, again, the Kansas City was up 24-20. They were marching down that field, by the way. As good as the Bengals defense was, let's be clear, this was situation. They were good situationally, but Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes, Kev, they were equally going up and down that field and doing whatever they wanted at times. It's not like the Bengals defense was great for all 4 quarters, but they were great situationally. Same thing with the Chiefs. Joe Burrow carved them up, but situationally, they were able to get to Joe Burrow. They were able to stop the run game. They were able to, get a big stop. But overall, both offenses like that were pretty dang even yesterday. The biggest difference, the reason the Bengals won is because of the defense forcing that fumble. It was 24-20, and then the Bengals, the Bengals get the football back. They come down, they score that touchdown. And then on that big drive for Kansas City, okay, they settle for the field goal and they miss.
A sack.
Yeah.
Push them back, miss field goal, grind out the entire clock.
So, yes, it was very close. It just came down to, the Bengals offense doing a pretty good job of eating clock. Because if it was just, Joe Burrow, drop back pass, they're going to give the football right back
Mm-hmm.
and then lose that football game. So it was a very well-managed game on top of that. Zach Taylor did a very good job yesterday. Bengals fans, y'all need to give him a little more love. They do need to give him a little bit more love because the thing that drives me nuts about the Bengals and their fan base is when they lose, it's Zach Taylor, but when they win, it's the players. So that's why when they start struggling, I blame the players more than Zach Taylor, because if you're saying that Zach Taylor is a poor coach, then the players right now, just like last year, they've proven they can overcome bad coaching in the eyes of you guys. So when they're not playing well, you can't say it's coaching because apparently they play through bad coaching all the time. It's just that they don't produce. They're producing right now, though. Zach Taylor's been fantastic. Joe Burrow's playing at an MVP-like level. The run game with Pirine provides them an extra element that makes them one of the most scariest teams in football. And then, don't forget about that damn defense with Hendrickson. And even Hubbard played well yesterday. Yeah. Hilton had some big cracks on some guys yesterday. They're one of the most well-rounded teams. I venture to say they're the most well-rounded. Buffalo is, in my opinion, but they're beat up right now.
Yeah.
Cincinnati, I think, is the most well-rounded team. Oh, Philly. But I put them up there with Philly. I think they're the two most well-rounded teams, and that could be the Super Bowl, Bengals and Philly this season. Who knows?
Big kudos to the Cincinnati Bengals defense. Kansas City Chiefs averaged 30 points a game. They held them to 24. I know we're thinking like, well, that's not a lot of points. Well, that's almost basically a whole touchdown. You're holding them off the board, and that ultimately helped them win the football game, man. So the defense was great, getting that sack, and not only getting that sack on Patrick Mahomes, forcing him to kick that field goal. Patrick Mahomes got banged up a little bit, was walking off the field with a limp. So I'm sure they probably would have went for it if Patrick Mahomes was able to throw it away or didn't come up limping and everything like that. So all those situations compound the sack, the rolling of the ankle, like, all right, man, let's
he was
kick
limping?
this field goal.
Yeah. Oh, he was hurt. Oh, that's why they won. Now it makes sense. I knew they couldn't win yet. He was hurt. Now it makes sense.
You know he's a starting quarterback, right?
Oh, my goodness. Rolando. Oh, what up, Rolando?
Yes, sir.
He said, I told you we'll do it.
This is true.
To be fair, though, he tells me that every week.
Well, he was talking to me because I was the main one saying, like, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I just don't see the Cincinnati Bengals being able to beat the Kansas City Chiefs 3 times in the calendar year, and they did it. So kudos to the Cincinnati Bengals, offense, defense, and special teams. They were out there getting it done. Coaches did their thing, and it's a very, very part of football that people don't care about. But I was just blown away that they were able to milk the clock like that, to never give the Chiefs the ball back. I was very impressed by that because they stayed aggressive too. It wasn't just run the ball into the line of scrimmage. Like they did some flare passes to the running back, the quick flare out to Jamar Chase to pick up that 1 first down. So yeah, they did a lot of things offensively to stay aggressive, but not taking risky passes like deep shots. They took quick passes to get the ball in their playmakers' hands to pick up those first downs. Very impressed.
Here's what I don't understand. So you have to pass concussion protocol to practice and play, but to practice.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Mixon practiced last week. I've never seen an injury where I've never seen especially now with everyone paying more attention to concussions and how they're being handled. I still think him not playing this past week was weird unless something happened in practice, but he was cleared to practice this past week, but then he failed the concussion protocol test to play. Is there 2 separate ones?
I have no idea.
Because Joe Mixon could clear. This comes out from Ben Baby with ESPN, who covers the Bengals. Bengals running back Joe Mixon could clear concussion protocol early in the week, said Zach Taylor. He was held out on Sunday against Kansas City for precautionary reasons. Yes, precautionary reasons being we're cautious we'll lose if you're our lead back, so that's why we're going with yeah. So Matthew Sturgeon says, the last 2 games, Coach Taylor has been a big reason the Bengals have won. It seems he is improving with time. Improving with what? Improving with it. The players are producing. The run game is back. That's one reason why they're playing better. They weren't losing at the beginning because of bad coaching. They were losing games because no one was producing. Am I wrong, Kev? Like, I'm sure there's some coaching things you can go point at, fine. But like, it really does come down to too much blame and praise goes to quarterbacks and coaches when there's so many other guys involved on that field. Zach Taylor's not doing anything differently now than he was at the beginning of the season, except now he has players all on both sides. Special teams, special teams, defense. You don't have guys missing field goals now, extra points, like everything. They're a well-oiled machine right now. This is a better team. Yes, Zach Taylor maybe is coaching better, but I don't think Zach Taylor has been bad this year. I think the Bengals were bad to start the season.
Yeah, they were definitely rough to start the season. Obviously, week 1 with Joe Burrow just giving the ball away like it was Christmas to my Pittsburgh Steelers. We definitely appreciate that, by the way.
No one should have won that
game. Definitely no way.
Should not have been a tie. Should have been 2 losses. Both of you guys come out 0-1.
Terrible. We're not that good right now, but we won 2 in a row, by the way. But no, Jamar Chase being back definitely helps the offense. I know he was targeted 8 times and had 7 catches. So, so much for rest for him, I guess.
Yeah. We'll see what that injury was weird too. Sometimes injuries that don't need surgery scare me because there's no way to fix it other than rest, but they could flare up at any time.
Right.
So that worried me. I said yesterday, not to be negative, but I was like, don't be surprised if all of a sudden you see that camera shot of him and a trainer heading to the locker room. That's what would worry me about that. But giving him that extra week, I guess he could have played last week against the Titans, but I think they viewed that game as a winnable game without him. But look, him coming back, Kev, Joe Burrow's a different quarterback with him. I mean, Joe Burrow is a quarterback that completes 70% of his passes with him. He completes 65%, still very good, by the way. But there's a significant drop off in his completion percentage with him not out there. Yards per game, he throws for 300 yards per game when Jamar Chase is out on the field. He throws for 260 when he's not on the field. Touchdowns, he averages 2.5 touchdowns per game when Jamar Chase is out there. He averages a half a touchdown a game when he's not out there. Joe Burrow needs Jamar Chase to finish this. Joe Burrow did a very good job in his absence. The offense, the team did better than me and many doubters, and even some Bengals fans expected in his absence, especially when you think about how it started against the Browns. That was the very first game without Jamar Chase. If that was what the game was that we were all supposed to dictate everything off of, then yeah, there was a lot of reason to be concerned. But Jamar Chase being back, I know the MVP is a quarterback award, but man, I think Jamar Chase is an MVP candidate because that offense, Joe Burrow, is night and day different with and without him. That's the truth. Look, the best game Joe Burrow had in his absence, Kev, was against your Steelers.
Yes, sir.
But he was very, very average against everybody else. You get Jamar Chase back and look at him yesterday. He's an MVP candidate when Jamar Chase is out there. Jamar Chase makes Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow elevates Jamar Chase. Don't get me wrong, but you know what I mean? They need Jamar Chase. And we saw that in that Super Bowl run last year. So we'll see. 518-1410. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash right here on 1410 ESPN Radio, reacting to all things NFL yesterday. Of course, we'll get into the Browns in a moment. I meant to get to that opening up, but just more, conversation about the Bengals here. Matt, I didn't mean to argue with you. I always argue with Matt, so I do want to agree with him on this. You talked about the clock management for the Bengals to close out that game yesterday. Joe Burrow, who I don't compliment often, he had that defender coming down to break his damn neck, and he stepped into that pocket, and he completed that pass to T. Higgins. That was the play. So Matt Sturgeon said, Matt Sturgeon, I clicked on the wrong one from you. My bad. He talked about the throw to Higgins on 3rd and 11 at the end of the game. That was crucial. That sealed it. Because the second he connected that, he should not have connected that. He was heavily covered. He had a defender coming on him. Talk about T. Higgins was heavily covered. Burrow had a guy coming right for him. I thought he was going to just get literally just destroyed in that pocket. He didn't care. He stepped right in there and completed it. Kudos to Joey B. Kudos to T. Higgins, and kudos to the damn Bengals. 8-4 on the season. So there you go. There you go.
He said it. He said it, everybody.
So
he didn't like it, but he did say it.
I didn't, but I tell y'all people all the time, y'all think I just troll to troll. I'm critical when there's room to be critical. There was nothing to be critical of yesterday. There's always room to grow. Yesterday, the Bengals looked fantastic. Nothing to say there. All right, 518-1410, Kev, who's up?
Line 1 on his back, Burrow is calling in. Your favorite guy.
Who's on his back, Burrow?
you're here.
On his back, Burrow. Who this?
Hey, Kenner, this is Sean.
Sean?
I got a quick... Yes. I got a real quick question. I'm going to hang up and listen to your answer. I think the Browns beat the Bengals next week for the same reason the Bengals beat the Chiefs. Have a good day.
And Sean, I think you said Shaw. That's why I was like, Shaw, by the way, if anyone wants to in on the bet, so we're trying to figure out when Shaw's going to reappear on the show. He's mad at me. He said he's done. He's protesting the show.
What did he say?
I can't say it. It's not FCC approved. By the way, he cracks me up. He has a picture of him getting baptized on his Facebook page, and he's dropping the F-bomb to me left and right the other day. Like, what? Don't be like that, Shaw. Y'all
F-bomb, friend.
You need Jesus. That's what you need. You need less F-bombs and more Jesus. Don't be coming at me like that because you didn't like my opinion. My goodness, what's wrong with you? I'm actually jealous of him. He gets to drop the F-bomb on me. I can't because FCC airwaves and stuff. You know? Last caller, Sean. What's his name? Okay. Sean. Shout out to Sean. He brings up the Browns. He said he thinks the Browns win this week for the same reasons the Bengals won yesterday. We'll get into Browns and Bengals later in the week. I'm not ready to go there yet. Although we are doing way too much of this Joe Burrow owns Patrick Mahomes thing. Like, did Patrick Mahomes play poorly yesterday?
No.
And if Patrick Mahomes would have won yesterday, Joe Burrow didn't play poorly yesterday. It just came down to who has the damn ball last. I mean, hell, every win that Joe Burrow and the Bengals have had against the Chiefs have come down to the final. You know, it's been a 3-point win, a 1-possession win every time. But for the sake of the narrative and the selling point of the talking points and all that, yes, Joe Burrow owns Patrick. He didn't own Patrick Mahomes. The Bengals defense has done a very good job against Patrick Mahomes. But really, I thought both QBs played well yesterday. I mean, two just good teams. That's AFC title preview again for the second straight year. I think Buffalo, I think we're splitting hairs between Buffalo, Cincinnati, Kansas City at this point. I would not have said that a week ago, definitely not 2 weeks ago, definitely not a month ago. The three best teams in the NFL are in the AFC with those three. And then Philadelphia, they got a statement win yesterday because they down. Oh, yeah. To be fair, though, we got to give Philadelphia more respect, or as much respect, because Cincinnati needed all 4 quarters to beat Tennessee last week. But to be fair, they didn't have Jamar.
Right.
They're a different team with Jamar. I just went through statistically. Joe Burrow is an MVP candidate with Jamar Chase, and he's average without him. So that's statistically speaking. That's not even a hot take. You go look at the numbers. I already gave them to you. So there's that. I like what Philly did yesterday, but I think that what all 4 of those teams have in common: great quarterbacks, great weapons on offense, complemented with great defense. So there you go.
That's winning football.
No hating from me today, as far as I'm concerned. All right. 518-1410. Well, it's I want to talk Browns. Can we talk Browns?
Sure.
Let's talk Browns.
Let's talk skipping rocks.
What did I do?
No.
Is there a joke?
Deshaun Watson was doing yesterday.
Oh, shut the hell up. You have Kenny Pickett.
We won.
I don't want to hear it. I don't
back to back.
Wait, so
2 in a row.
Skipping rocks and all. We won yesterday too. Don't be
2 in a row.
Leave Deshaun. He's been beat up enough. All right. Actually, I don't think I'm ever allowed to defend Deshaun Watson, but you know, they won yesterday. They probably win by more if Jacoby's out there. But my thing that was weird yesterday is they literally stopped passing the football at a certain point. Like, let him drop back and throw the damn football, Stefanski. My goodness. Anyways, all right, we'll be right back. 518-1410.
The Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash. Presented by Brad Mays with Home Experts Realty. Weekdays at 3 p.m. on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Houday Nation, Betfred has come all the way from England to the great state of Ohio with over 50 years of sports betting experience. No emperors, no movie stars, just a sportsbook you can trust. The Betfred Sportsbook app will be available on January 1st, 2023. Until then, download the Bengals app or go to betfredsports.com and have a chance to win Bengals tickets and exclusive merchandise. Official sports betting partner of the Cincinnati Bengals. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Hi there, I'm your host, Dog, filling in for the human who's normally here and bringing you the smells and sounds of the holidays, courtesy of Beggin' Dog Treats.
We wish you a begging Christmas. We wish you a begging Christmas. Dog rest ye merry Doberman, let begging you acquire. Deck the halls with strips of begging. Arf, 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 arf.
Remember, for bacon-loving dog excitement this holiday,
It's begging!
This holiday season, switch to Boost Mobile and get a single line unlimited plan for $25 a month and
a partridge in a pear tree
coverage on America's largest 5G networks.
How about 7 swans of swimming?
No, but if you're not satisfied within the first 30 days, Boost gives you your money back.
Turtle doves, French hens,
the lowest truly unlimited plan on the market. One line for $25 a month when you switch.
I'll take it.
Boost Mobile. Unleash your power. Limited time offer. New customers only. One line for $25 per month with autopay. Device must be returned in like new condition. Monthly service refunded via e-gift card. Additional restrictions apply. See your local Boost Mobile store for details.
Welcome back to Ohio's newest game show, Beat the Stigma. Final question. Drug addiction is often the result of what? A, genetics, B, mental illness, C, traumatic experiences, or D, all of the above. Beth,
E, none of the above.
There's no E.
Ooh, changing my answer to because they don't know right from wrong.
That's a stigma, and that's what we're trying to beat. I'm sorry, you did not beat the stigma.
Ohio, challenge what you know about addiction at beatthestigma.org.
You need employees.
Tell me about it.
Actually, tell us about it.
Why?
Because when you tell us about your job openings, we can tell over 300,000 other people.
You can?
Yeah, whether you're looking for a job or a better job, Alpha Media Recruitment can help fill any position with qualified job seekers with a custom plan that combines our broadcast and digital platforms.
You can do that?
It's what we do. Alpha Media Dayton, on air, on site, on demand. Call 937-519-0111. That's 937-519-0111. Or email DaytonJobs@alphamediausa.com. That's DaytonJobs@alphamediausa.com.
Germain Honda Beaver Creek is your local Honda dealer. If you've been waiting to buy, now is the time. 2022 Honda Pilots with financing as low as 1.9%, 2022 Honda Passports and 2023 Ridgelines with financing as low as 2.9%, and all in stock for immediate delivery. We will save you money today. See me, Sales Manager Jason High, for all the details. We're located Route 35, just east of 675 between Xenia and Beaver Creek. Germain Honda Beaver Creek. The right car, the right price, the right way. I hope to see you soon.
You have empty office space to fill or home office to create. You know what you need. You know what you'd like. But you also have a pretty good idea after you've shopped around the usual places what you need and what you like might not happen. Well, then you haven't been to Charles Larrick's Warehouse Outlet. Nobody has their selection. Nobody has their discounts. And every week, there's something new. If you need office furniture, Larrick's Warehouse Outlet can sell it to you for half the price and below manufacturer's selected prices. Half price and below on hundreds of items. Selection from budget to the best. Really, desks from $50 to $5,000. Filing cabinets from $25 to $500. Before you go anywhere else, do yourself a favor and come to Larrick's Warehouse Outlet. With 25,000 square feet of selection, you're not going to go anywhere else. Larrick's Warehouse Outlet at 23 McOil Avenue, Dayton. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6. Larrick's, continuing the tradition.
Frickin' chicken chunks, frickin' chicken chunks, frickin' chicken chunks, frickin' chicken chunks.
When there's no time to make food for your holiday party, carry out 4 pounds of frickin' chicken chunks for only $34.99. Give the gift that always fits. A $25 Frickers gift card and get 5 frickin' bonus pots free. Let them get what they really want.
Have you heard? $5,000 sign-on bonus. That's right. My friends at Cordell Transportation are now hiring Class A CDL drivers for home daily dedicated lanes, no-touch freight, with brand new equipment, and offering a $5,000 sign-on bonus paid over 18 months, paid orientation, company 401k. Plus, they're now hiring recent truck driving school graduates. Apply today. Online at CordellTransportation.com. Driven to succeed.
Dude, that girl from sales is here at the bar. She asked about you. Did you get my text?
Hey, it's Liz. We were supposed to meet tonight for a movie, but you're MIA. Whatever, loser.
Hey man, karaoke tonight, dude. Karaoke! Where are you?
Let Arrowhead Tax Service take care of your taxes and save you time. 113 West Jefferson Street in New Carlisle. New clients save 10%. Online at arrowheadtaxservice.com.
Ohio sports fans, I got some great news for you. Starting on January 1st, DraftKings Sportsbook will be live in our state. And to celebrate, all new customers will receive $200 in free bets when you sign up today using code WING1410. Plus, 5 lucky customers will win a $100,000 free bet. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and sign up with code WING1410 to get $200 in free bets to use once mobile sports betting hits Ohio. Plus, 5 customers will win a $100,000 free bet only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code WING1410. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966. 21 and up. Physically present in Ohio. Eligibility restrictions apply. See terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Subject to regularity licensing requirements. One per new customer. $200 issued as $825 free bets. No purchase necessary for sweepstakes. Void where prohibited. Ends first day. DraftKings is allowed to operate in Ohio. See terms and official rules at dkng.co/OH.
This holiday, check out Origins, an immersive new Audible original series featuring artists like Billie Eilish telling their stories in their words. Listen now at audible.com/origins.
Free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Justin Kinner, Kev Nash, back with you here on 1410 ESPN Radio. I hope everyone had a great weekend. Coming up here 10 minutes from now, college football talk. Ohio State backdoors their way into the playoff. Now that triggers some folks. And other people have common sense and say, yeah, that's exactly what happened. Don't know what to tell you. But 10 minutes from now, college football talk. I promise that's coming your way. All right, so we talked about the Bengals already, Kev. Look, they look like they're a Super Bowl contender. They look the part. They have everything you need to win it. The quarterback, the weapons, the run game, and the defense. And most importantly, at this point, looks like the offensive line has figured some things out. So we'll see what happens as far as, consistency moving forward and being able to keep it going. But they've won, 4 straight now?
Yeah.
They haven't lost since Cleveland. The last time. They have Cleveland coming up this weekend. It'll be a different-looking Cleveland team. It'll be a different-looking Bengals team that Cleveland's facing, but a different-looking Cleveland team as well. So Cleveland wins yesterday, Kev, 27-14. They improved to 5-7 on the season. We kind of figured this would be it. I think it's interesting. All the conspiracy theorists out there that believe that, the NFL wanted to make it. Why would you give Deshaun Watson Houston to come back to iron out the kinks? Like, if you really wanted to punish Deshaun Watson, you would have brought him back against the Buccaneers. You would have brought him back against, now we could say the Bengals. Didn't seem like it a couple weeks ago, but or against the Bills or somebody. Just thought it was interesting. The conspiracy theorists out there that believe that they were out against the Browns and Deshaun Watson, I feel like they did him a favor by letting him come back again. That they stuck it to him by letting him come back against Houston. Look, he's going to get booed no matter where he goes. Okay. Mm-hmm. So this idea that they stuck it to him by forcing him to debut in Houston, where he was going to get rained on with boos. He's going to get booed every stadium he goes to. He'll be booed this weekend in Cincinnati. He's going to be booed everywhere he goes. So I disagree. The best thing that could have happened for him was to have Houston right off the bat, because hopefully he just played his worst game of the season this past week. Deshaun Watson, in his debut for the Cleveland Browns, completed 12 of 22 passes for 131 yards and a pick. And he looked rusty. I see a lot of people saying, you said he wasn't, that rust wouldn't be a problem for him. First of all, we're having two different arguments here. My argument about how big it is for the Browns to have Deshaun Watson is big picture. Deshaun Watson over the next 5 years is ginormous for Cleveland. Everyone else's argument is basing it off of he's going to be rusty to start. This is why Cleveland should not have got Deshaun Watson. Really? If Deshaun Watson is rusty the next 3 or 4 weeks, or even rusty for the rest of the season, but comes back to MVP form next season, do you think that the Browns are going to regret getting Deshaun Watson? I don't think so. The Browns were very well aware of everything they were getting themselves into. They knew it was going to be a crap storm from a PR standpoint, from a preparing for the upcoming season standpoint, and even from an on-field standpoint as they try to adjust to him getting back out on the field after 700 days off. To be fair, I'm not going to do the whole, well, he was rusty. What do you expect? I expected him to look rusty. That was very, very rusty yesterday. But someone said, oh, I bet you're worrying. No, I'm not, actually. I'm not at all. If this is Deshaun Watson in week 1 of 23, oh yeah, I'm going to be very concerned. But right now, the worst addition at quarterback in the history of the NFL right now is Russell Wilson in Denver. It's not Deshaun Watson in Cleveland. Now, if Deshaun continues at this pace, then we have a problem. I don't think he'll continue at this pace. I still think, look, we saw glimpses of it, but at the same time, the Browns won yesterday. And at the end of the day, mathematically, it keeps the door cracked. You look at a lot of the teams that lost in the AFC yesterday, Kev, it does. And right now we're talking about what benefits Cleveland, technically benefits your team, because the Browns and the Steelers are kind of swimming in the same waters. But a lot of AFC teams in that playoff picture lost yesterday. When you want to talk about, what it means for the wild card and the playoff picture. Look, I don't think Cleveland's making the playoff, but the window has been cracked for them to have an opportunity. So yesterday, New England lost on Thursday. The Jets lost. The Dolphins lost. The Chargers lost. The Colts lost. All the teams that were in Jacksonville lost. Like 7 teams lost yesterday that really helped the Browns, because this isn't you're not going to make up ground all in 1 week, but it also helped Pittsburgh. So moving forward, Cleveland still does have Cincinnati coming up. They have Baltimore coming up. Okay. They have, why am I skipping on some teams? They have a winnable schedule moving forward. 2 division games is huge. And then obviously 3 winnable games to close out the season. At the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, Cleveland, is it about making the playoffs the rest of the way? Yes. If it's there, you got to go for it. But it is about what we saw yesterday, getting all those kinks ironed out. And from there we go. But I'm not making excuses. I'm not trying to water down what happened yesterday. It did not look good. But for me to be concerned, I would have had to have high expectations for it going in, and I didn't. So what did you see yesterday? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, the panic meter for Browns fans should be what? I say 0. You have this 2 or 3, 4 weeks in a row,
right?
Every single week. Concern. I say 0, Kev.
I'm going to go low as well. I mean, I knew he's going to be rusty, but I didn't expect him to be that bad. I mean, they didn't score an offensive touchdown yesterday. Lots of field goals, threw an interception in the end zone. I mean, you're expecting that to be the absolute worst he plays. I mean, don't think he's ever had a game in the NFL this bad, that dating back to his rookie year, and there's a lot to be said with that, not playing an NFL game for 700 days, being back in Houston, the booing, not really thinking like the booing really affected him all like that. I mean, the stadium was less than half full. I mean, I'm sure he's been in venues in high school that had more fans than that game did on Sunday. So you expect like, all right, next week, come back a little bit more. And then the following week, get back a little bit more. For people to be saying like, oh man, Deshaun Watson is done. I don't even think Deshaun is 27 years old yet.
Just turned 27.
Just turned 27 years old. So
young.
like you, if you want to get rid of him, I know a couple teams in the NFL that'll gladly take him.
Like the Falcons. The Falcons tried.
So ultimately, the Browns won the game without scoring an offensive touchdown. They had a pick six, fumble, scoop and score, and a punt return for touchdowns. So they won the game. He knocked some of the rust off. So this upcoming week in Cincinnati, 1:00 kickoff, all the eyes are going to be on him. Like, all right, man, you knocked the rust off. You're good now, right? I don't think it's really that easy or that simple. I think he'll be perfectly fine career-wise. I wasn't saying like, oh, man, he'll be fine. Don't worry about it. I was saying like in the long term, much like you're saying, in the long term, he'll be back to Deshaun Watson. First game out, it was rougher than I expected for sure. No doubt about it. I thought he was going to be rusty. I didn't think he was going to throw dirt balls, everything like that. But, he's back out there and they got 5 games to go. So something that we always like to do, last 5 games of the regular season, what's going to be the record? At Cincinnati, home Baltimore, home New Orleans, at the Commanders, at the Steelers. Last 5 games for the Browns, what's it going to be?
They will split Baltimore, Cincinnati. And I'm saying that not knowing which team I'm going to roll with yet. I'm not trolling the Bengals. I'm not ready to go and guarantee that they beat Cincinnati on Sunday. Because, by the way, Deshaun Watson, you're lucky that you played Houston. By the way, Cleveland was going to win no matter what yesterday. Houston's a bad football team.
Yeah.
But I will say this. Deshaun Watson did not have the pleasure.
Watch it.
That wasn't a. Oh, I see. Yeah, I see. My bad. That wasn't like a sexual joke. My apologies. He did not have the luxury.
There you go.
Of going up against a bottom 10 passing defense like Joe Burrow did yesterday. The Texans are actually a better defensive passing team than the Chiefs. I'm just saying. So, luckily, there's a team that's actually, worse than the Texans in the passing defense department that he is going up against this week. So it should be much easier for Deshaun Watson against the Cincinnati Bengals.
I thought you weren't talking about this till Thursday.
But you open the door. No. And they're not. If that Joe Mixon, if that Deshaun Watson, I get him confused. Deshaun Watson, what I say?
Nothing.
It's for the holy molies out there. See, I got my joke. I'm sorry. Deshaun Watson, if that's the Deshaun Watson that shows up in Cincinnati on Sunday, they're losing by 20 plus. So, but I also know I'm not dumb enough to think that one game shakes off all that rust, but I also don't expect him to look like that either.
Can't look like that again. Impossible.
You can't, but you can.
Impossible.
So that's where I'm torn. That's why I'm like, I need a couple days to really kind of dive into this Bengals-Browns matchup, because I'm just being honest. All the Bengals, we're going to destroy the Browns based off what we saw from last week. I'm like, I agree. If that's the Deshaun Watson that shows up to Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati this weekend, I agree. The Bengals will destroy the Cleveland Browns if that's the Deshaun Watson. Sure, but he doesn't have to be elite to beat the Bengals. I mean, the Bengals haven't beat the Browns in so long, and that's with Baker Mayfield, that's with Case Keenum, that's with Jacoby Brissett. So clearly, you don't have to have elite quarterback play to beat the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm just saying, because clearly there's a matchup thing there in Cleveland that goes beyond just the quarterback. So, in all seriousness, I don't know where I'm at with this matchup yet. I agree, Bengals fans. The Browns might get their ass kicked on Sunday, depending on how much improvement we see from Deshaun from the Texans to them. So that's where I'm at with it. I'm being fair.
Fair enough. So you say split with the Bengals and Baltimore. Then you got
I think they win the other three.
Saints at Commandos.
They're playing good football, by the way.
Yes, they are.
So maybe I shouldn't be so confident in that, but I'm going to still say win.
And then beat my beloved Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yes, that'll be the battle for which team is in the basement in the AFC North by the time we get to that point. Possibly. I don't know.
So 4-1 down the back half. That will put them at 9-8. Does 9-8 get them in?
Oh, no. I'm not even sure if 10 puts them in. If they win 4 their next 5, that would put them at 9. Oh, no, they would have to win all 5.
Yeah, they got to win all 5. Because I did the same exercise with my Steelers, and I was like, all right, well, if we could this happen,
what's
this happen.
What's your tiebreaker situation? Because Cleveland
has a tiebreaker over the Steelers currently, because obviously
Cleveland,
they beat them head to head.
They've lost to like all the teams ahead of them.
That's the crazy part, because the Steelers have the tiebreaker over the other teams because they have beat them.
Yeah,
but y'all have the tiebreaker over us.
The Chargers, the Browns already lost to they lost to the Chargers. They lost to the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
What other teams have they lost to already? I mean, obviously losing to the Dolphins. They lost to the Bills, but the Bills and Dolphins are fine, so that's not going to be a factor.
Yeah, that's not.
They're not going to tie with them. But
y'all don't play the Raiders this year.
No, we don't.
Okay,
yeah, so
we play the Raiders this year. I think it's like the 40-year anniversary of the Immaculate Reception. That's going down, I want to say, on Christmas Eve on the NFL Network. But yeah, I mean, ahead of the Browns and Steelers are the Raiders, Chargers, Patriots, and the Jets.
Okay, well, see, yeah, it's going to be
tough.
It's going to be tough. But I mean, if the Browns, with all of this, if they're fortunate to finish in 9 wins, I mean, it's the loser mantra that I'm having here. Well, at least we finished strong. I want them to make the playoffs, but they buried themselves, not just with the losses, but the losses to the teams. That damn Chargers loss is going to come back to haunt them. That Jets loss.
It's the Jets loss.
The Jets, that's the other team, by the way. When I was talking about the Patriots,
spot.
Yeah. And the Jets, that Jets loss, 11-point lead with 90 seconds, and you lose, no timeouts, by the way, and you lose. That's the Jets and the Chargers loss is why they're going to be kept out. Now, that's assuming they win the next ones. And like I said, they're not beating the Bengals on Sunday if that Deshaun Watson is who shows up. Like, it's not going to happen. It's not oofa. We'll see what happens. But we'll talk more about the Browns and the Bengals throughout the week. I already got a text from Mr. Ken Anderson.
Hey,
remember last time he said he would do the show if I wasn't on it because he refuses to do the show with the Browns fan. But then I said, well, have fun with the Steelers fan. And he goes, I'm busy this week. Man, some guy named David Lewis. Apparently, he finally got internet in his mom's basement because out of nowhere, and he finally was able to remove his hand from himself long enough to be able to get this message in. No, he goes, dude, you are so stupid. Apparently, I'm stupid. Dude, you were so stupid. Look at Mixon's stats last year. He's better than Pirine. Okay, dude, you are really stupid because look at Mixon this season. I don't care about what he did last year. My God. That's like saying, hey, we're gonna put Emmitt Smith on the team this year because look at all those rushing yards that he has. Like, I don't care what Joe Mixon did last year. I was very complimentary. I liked Joe Mixon last year. Kev, how many times said Joe Mixon was a top 5 running back last year? I didn't try to water down his success. I know how good he was last year, Mr. David Lewis. You are so stupid. Look at Mixon's stats from last year. This is this year. It's 2022. I don't care what the hell he did last year. The Bengals they started out bad because he was bad. The run game was bad. And Pirine may not be better than what Joe Mixon has been throughout his career, but Pirine has definitely been better for the Bengals right now. Joe Mixon has one damn good game against the Panthers and Mr. David Lewis in his mom's basement over here. Thanks, Joe Mixon's bad. David Lewis, kick rocks. Dude, you were so stupid. Look at Mixon's stats. Give me a damn break. Now I hope the Browns kick the Bengals' asses coming up Sunday. Now he got me all fired up. That's what I needed. Just needed a starter. Mr. David
That's all
Lewis
you needed.
Oh, yeah. All right, folks. 518-1410. We'll be right back. David Lewis.
Listen, stream, watch. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, right here on Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 Wing AM. WING 1410 Dayton. Dayton's ESPN Radio. ESPN 1410 Wing AM weather.
Today, sunshine early, followed by cloudy skies for the afternoon with a high of 49. Tonight, cloudy in the evening with showers after midnight, low of 42 degrees. And tomorrow, for your Tuesday, overcast with rain showers at times, high of 51. I'm Adam Zellick for 1410 ESPN Radio.
This holiday, check out Origins, an immersive new Audible original series featuring artists like Billie Eilish, telling their stories in their words. Listen now at audible.com/origins.
Traveling, volunteering, spending time with family. What's your retirement look like? With income planning from Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor can help you grow and protect your wealth. They'll look at your full financial picture and help you create a flexible strategy that considers things like market conditions and healthcare expenses, so you can stop worrying about the future and enjoy whatever comes next. Visit fidelity.com/income planning. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, member NYSE SIPC.
Dell Technologies' Days of Deals for Business start now with fresh, limited quantity deals on tech to drive productivity. Save on select performance laptops and desktops powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Don't forget special pricing on the latest monitors, docks, and accessories, plus free shipping on everything and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Don't put it off any longer. You know it's time. Time for a bathroom upgrade by Bath Creations. Bath Creations is a leader in bathroom renovations, providing the very best value in bath and shower remodeling and proudly made in the USA. With Bath Creations, you get a beautiful modern bathroom that's safe, comfortable, and affordable. Attention first responders, veterans, and active military. Save $500 off your purchase right now. Visit Poe Avenue in Dayton or online at mybathcreations.com. And upgrade today.
You need employees.
Tell me about it.
Actually, tell us about it.
Why?
Because when you tell us about your job openings, we can tell over 300,000 other people.
You can?
Yeah, whether you're looking for a job or a better job, Alpha Media Recruitment can help fill any position with qualified job seekers with a custom plan that combines our broadcast and digital platforms.
You can do that?
It's what we do. Alpha Media Dayton, on air, on site, on demand. Call 937-519-0111. That's 937-519-0111. Or email DaytonJobs@alphamediausa.com. That's DaytonJobs@alphamediausa.com.
Hi, this is Eddie Sorrell, Body Shop Manager at Germain Honda of Beaver Creek. Our technicians have over 125 years of total experience. That means we can repair your vehicle correctly and efficiently. So when you need a dependable body shop, we're here. And we repair all makes and models with new state-of-the-art equipment to get you back on the road quickly. Plus, we offer loaner cars during service and free estimates. Stop by and see us. Germain Honda, Beaver Creek, State Route 35, just east of 675 between Xenia and Beaver Creek.
Frickin' chicken chunks, frickin' chicken chunks, frickin' chicken chunks, frickin' chicken chunks.
When there's no time to make food for your holiday party, carry out 4 pounds of frickin' chicken chunks for only $34.99. Give the gift that always fits. A $25 Frickers gift card and get 5 frickin' bonus bucks free. Let them get what they really want.
This is Doug Ute, Executive Director of the Ohio High School Athletic Association. High school coaches can be the biggest influence on kids having a positive experience in sports. Sports set the foundation for life lessons that remain long after playing days are over.
This is Gene Smith. Please join Life Sports at The Ohio State University and the Ohio High School Athletic Association as we partner with the Susan Crown Exchange on its Million Coaches Challenge. Get involved and learn more at go.osu.edu/CoachBeyond.
Would you like to save hundreds of dollars on your real estate taxes? Celebrate the holidays with the gift of a lower tax bill. This is Montgomery County Auditor Carl Keith, and if you're a homeowner age 65 or older, or you are permanently and totally disabled, you could be eligible for the homestead exemption. To find out if you qualify, call my homestead hotline at 937-225-4341. The deadline to apply for this tax break is December 31st, but if you are already enrolled, you do not need to reapply. New applicants are subject to an income test. Visit our website for more information at mcauditor.org or call 937-225-4341. That hotline number again is 937-225-4341. And remember, the deadline to apply is December 31st. This is Auditor Carl Keith wishing you and your homestead the best this holiday season.
When it comes to tax season, we generally see two different scenarios. Situation one, do your taxes yourself.
Oh, $1,400? Oh,
Situation number two, we do your taxes for you.
I'm getting back $1,400? Oh,
See, we can save you money. Take a little back this year.
Arrowhead Tax Service will help you save money. 113 West Jefferson Street in New Carlisle. All new clients save 10%. Online at arrowheadtaxservice.com.
Thanks to Total Wine, you saved more on all the gifts for the ones you adore. Wine, spirits, beers, all nestled on shelves. Got some advice from our helpful elves. Oh, so many gifts to explore when you go to Total Wine and More. Bottles so delightful, whoa. Priced so amazingly low.
Love what you find. Always lowest prices at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly, B21.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Hi there, I'm your host, Dog, filling in for the human who's normally here and bringing you the smells and sounds of the holidays, courtesy of Beggin' Dog Treats.
We wish you a begging Christmas. We wish you a begging Christmas. Dog rest ye merry Doberman, let begging you acquire. Deck the halls with strips of begging. Arf, 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 arf.
Remember, for bacon-loving dog excitement this holiday,
It's begging!
This holiday season, switch to Boost Mobile and get a single line unlimited plan for $25 a month and
a partridge in a pear tree?
Coverage on America's largest 5G networks.
How about 7 swans of swimming?
No, but if you're not satisfied within the first 30 days, Boost gives you your money back.
Turtle doves, French hens?
The lowest truly unlimited plan on the market, one line for $25 a month when you switch.
I'll take it.
Boost Mobile, unleash your power. Limited time offer, new customers only. One line for $25 per month with autopay. Device must be returned in like new condition. Monthly service refunded via e-gift card. Additional restrictions apply. See your local Boost Mobile store for details.
College football playoffs, Browns, Bengals, Buckeyes, and more. Catch the Keith Byers Show Mondays at noon on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Justin Kinner, Kev Nash, back with you here on 1410 ESPN Radio. We're live on Facebook. Head to Facebook, search the Justin Kinner Show. Everyone has Facebook, so like and subscribe and follow along there. We're live every day from 3 to 6 p.m., and that's where you could watch the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash and be involved by jumping in on the comment section. So you could say really mean things, like our guy David Lewis on YouTube. We're also live on YouTube, by the way. Real quick, last takeaway about the Browns for me. One thing I noticed yesterday, it's not about the Browns and the playoff window and all that stuff. It's very bleak. But I'm watching the Jets, who are holding on to their playoff lives right now. But, like, they have right now, I mean, you look at the weapons they have, you know, with Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson is a star. Like, no matter who's throwing in the ball right now. Have you seen the numbers he's putting up?
Oh, yeah, he's balling.
Garrett Wilson can play. So I'm looking around the league, and I'm like, the Browns don't have enough weapons to be the Bengals, to be the Dolphins, to be the Eagles, to be even the Bills with Stephon Diggs. Like, Amari Cooper's really good. But, like, I think of the lower, he's a number one wide receiver, Kev, but I think he's at the bottom. If you ranked the number one wide receivers in the NFL, he's at the bottom, if that makes sense. Like, he's still one of the best receivers Cleveland's had in decades, right? Like, I mean, at the end of the day, but it's one of those things where in today's NFL, you need more than just Amari Cooper, and they don't have that. I like David Njoku, but he hasn't proven anything yet over time that the Browns have elite weapons in the pass game. So Deshaun, he'll be fine. He'll be great. Amari Cooper's great, but they need more than just Amari Cooper. You're not going to, over time, get the big wins in the playoffs against teams like Cincinnati with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, against the Jets, who have Garrett Wilson now, and they're going to add more weapons because they have a lot of money that they don't have to pipe into a quarterback at this moment, so they can go get weapons all they want. You look at the impact that Tyreek Hill has had with Miami. I mean, it's night and day. The Bengals go from a 4-win team to a Super Bowl because of Jamar Chase. Like, you need top-tier wide receivers. The Browns have an elite run game. They don't have elite weapons right now. That's the one thing. But baby steps. They just got to get Deshaun Watson out of this weird little rusty stage he's in.
Yeah, another thing to think about is you want to have them staggered. You want to have the veteran guy and then the up-and-coming guy on his rookie deal, because that's the issue. We'll use that term loosely, that the Cincinnati Bengals are going to have to deal with. Their big receiver core is not staggered. Your best two dudes are basically rookies at the same time. I know T. Higgins came in the year before Jamar Chase, but they're not staggered. Like Tyreek Hill and Waddle, staggered. Big contract for Tyreek Hill, rookie contract for Waddle. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith with Philadelphia, big contract for A.J. Brown, rookie deal for Devontae Smith. So you're not staggered, and that's ideally what you want, is a staggered situation.
That's a very good point. The Bengals are constructed really well, but they're not built staggeredly, I guess, if that's a word. That's a very good way to put it.
All their dudes are on the same
for a long time, but I've never been able to find the way to like depict that. That's exactly what I've been thinking and saying about Cincinnati for a while. Is everyone's like, well, look how young these guys are. They're going to have them forever. I'm like, that's not true. Like,
in
they
the
said
90s, you could do that.
Yeah. But right now, Jamar Chase is going to as wild as the wide receiver market is right now, money wise, he's going to reset it again. And T. Higgins isn't too far behind Jamar Chase, so he's going to want similar money. And then Joe Burrow's going to break the bank at quarterback. Win now while you can, Cincinnati, because you know what happened last night? Kansas City is the Bengals of the future, where Kansas City is always going to be very, very good, and they always have that elite quarterback. But they had Scantling and Juju Smith-Schuster. And that's not the weaponry that the Chiefs had over the last couple of years, because Patrick Mahomes was on the rookie deal. You had Tyreek Hill, but look, they couldn't keep them both. They had to pay them both. Tyreek Hill was up for money same time as Patrick Mahomes, and look what happened. They couldn't keep both.
Travis Kelce and Mecole Hardman hasn't turned into Tyreek Hill 2.0 for them.
So, and they're not bad. So that's the thing. Like, the Bengals need to keep an eye on the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs and Bengals, that's going to be a rivalry for quite some time, because I think they're the same type of team. Where you have a lot of money invested into your quarterback, and where are you going to find the money to put weapons elsewhere? Because the Chiefs did a very good job of putting the rest of that money, Kevin, in that offensive line and on the defensive side of the ball. And now you have Travis Kelce. The problem for the Bengals, they don't have that Travis Kelce. But look, that's a that's an off-season conversation that the Bengals will worry about later. But my point is the Bengals need to strike while the iron's hot, because the Bengals are built the way the Chiefs were over the last 2 years. And the Bengals have a chance to capitalize on it. They're going to have probably one more full year with these guys. And then I think the Bengals roster looks very different here in the next 2 years. But if they have to get a Super Bowl this year or next year, or hell, both, who cares? I mean, they were just in it last year. The Bengals have all the pieces to be a mini dynasty here in the immediate future, but they got to strike while it's hot. They can't leave anything on the, that Juju, I did it again. The Tyler Boyd drop into the end zone. Like, those plays can't happen. Like, you got to, I mean, you won. It's great.
The crazy part is, if that was Jamar Chase, I would kind of expect that. I don't expect Tyler Boyd to drop passes. To be honest, and I'm not a Cincinnati Bengals fan, but I watch a lot of Bengals football because obviously they're the team in the area that comes on the most. I don't recall Tyler Boyd ever dropping a pass.
Yeah, it was just a bet. Like, that's not Tyler Boyd.
Like, that was weird.
That was like preseason rookie year of Jamar Chase.
Yeah, like, he's butt naked, wide open, about to walk into the end zone, blown coverage, and he dropped it. It's like one of those, like, almost like, what do they call that in baseball when they're doing the outfield and the warm-ups, like shagging flies or something like that? It just dropped it. Oh,
hit
man.
his face mask.
Yeah, he must have lost it. I mean, obviously he lost it, but he dropped it, but they ultimately won the game. So I guess
that's why I think the Bengals stink. That's why I don't think they're going to win it all. Their receivers cannot catch wide open touchdown passes in the second quarter, with the score being this. No, the Bengals are fine. Look, I'm acknowledging it, folks. I know how good the Bengals are. But y'all getting mad at me when I'm critical to start the season. The reason I was critical is because they weren't that good to start the season. They're playing good football right now. You ain't going to hear a peep from me. So that was a good win yesterday. But yeah, as far as Cleveland goes, I want them to be good. I think they're going to be good. I think they're solid. They're good right now. The Bengals are really, really good. Cleveland's good. But, can't sit there and complain about the weapons in Cleveland, because Lamar Jackson would kill for an Amari Cooper.
The thing
that
about
injury is crucial, too. I don't know the severity of it. Have you heard?
I haven't heard. So I know he had a quad injury, and then yesterday he got sacked and landed on his knee. So he's up in the air. But I was thinking about this when we just did the exercise about the last 5 games of the regular season. The Browns have won 2 in a row. The Steelers have 1 and 2 in a row, and we both feel like, all right, they have to at least get to a minimum of 10 games to even consider being that last team in the playoffs. That means they will have to win their last 7 games. The likelihood of you going on a 7-game winning streak is like
They don't have 7 games. They have 5
No,
games.
I'm saying they've already won 2 in a row.
Oh, I see.
But to win, they're both at 5 and 7 right now, and we both say, all right, at 10 and 7, you got a chance. You have a legit chance. But that would mean you obviously win these last 5 games, and then add it on to the 2 that you won previously. That means you go on a 7-game winning streak at the end of the season. I mean, we can do the wins and losses per team, but just looking at it like that, I just don't see that happening for either team, winning 7 straight games to be able to even remotely have a chance at the playoffs.
No, they're not. I don't feel very confident about the Browns' chances this weekend against Cincinnati. And the reason I say that, there's 2 reasons. One, this is the best. This Cincinnati team, they're playing better now than their peak last year. Like, maybe I'm overblowing yesterday's win. I don't think I am. But that team yesterday, Kansas City is the best team in football. They've been everyone's number 1 all season. And they looked evenly matched, if not better than them yesterday. And the reason they looked better is because they won with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and that offensive line looks improved, and the big stars on the defense. The Chiefs aren't as flashy as they used to be. The Bengals are the Chiefs from the last couple of years. They just got to go finish the deal and do it. Can they? That's going to be the big question. But I think the Bengals are playing as good a football, if not better, than at their peak last year. And on top of that, the Browns with Deshaun Watson, how are they viewing this game with Cincinnati? Is this we're going to do everything we can to beat Cincinnati, or is this a preseason game that we're just trying to ease Deshaun Watson back into football? Because I got preseason vibes all over the place yesterday.
Really?
I mean, the game was out of reach. I get that, but they were handing off on 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. They weren't trying to pick up first downs. They were just trying to not throw the football with Deshaun. Why? Why? Like, oh, he looks a little rusty. Then let him throw the damn football, especially on 3rd and 8. I get it. 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd. But did any other Browns fan notice that? Even Browns haters, you watching the game, did y'all notice on 3rd and 8, they weren't letting him throw the football? He didn't throw the football at all in that 4th quarter. They were handing off on 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. There was a 3rd and 12 that they just handed it off. Hell, the last 6 minutes of the game, they had Ford in. They had benched Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. I'm like, what? I got preseason vibes the whole way. It was a bad game. It was a boring game to watch. Deshaun's the only reason people kept tuning in just to see do something. Like, you know, that little meme where they had the stick and they're poking somebody, like, do something. That's what I felt like happened yesterday. That's a disaster there. You know, and the other thing too, oh, Kenner, you're being negative. The Browns fans yelling at me now. The Browns defense, you're going to compliment that? I'm not complimenting the Browns defense. I'm being consistent here. When the Bengals offense beats up on the worst passing defenses in the league, I'm not going to drool over Joe Burrow and say, my God, look how good he is. That's just a quarterback bullying bad passing defenses. Well, yesterday, the Browns defense, I don't think is that good. And everyone's like, oh, the Browns defense, Joe Woods is back. That was the worst thing that could have happened for Cleveland yesterday because they're not a good defensive team.
Fooled you.
Special team. Heading into that game yesterday, the narrative was Deshaun Watson is not going to fix their defense and it's not going to fix their special teams issues. And what happened? Special teams, Donovan Peoples-Jones returns a punt return. That's not who the Browns are. The defense scores a couple touchdowns. That's not who the Browns are. So that's what frustrates me, is those wins are fool's gold. So when you beat up on bad teams, it's fool's gold. That defense, if that, you know, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I'm a little weary about this game with the Bengals on Sunday. The Bengals are playing very, very good football. The Browns, are they trying to win with Deshaun Watson, or is they just trying to ease him into the season? If they're trying to ease him into the season against Cincinnati, Kev, they're going to get their asses kicked. And I won't come into work on Monday. I think I have a few days to use in my PTO.
A couple.
Who do we have on hold?
We got John, line 1.
What up, John? Thanks for holding, sir.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good. Yourself?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Okay, so first things first, I'm an Eagles fan. Okay. I have been taking it with a grain of salt the whole year. So I didn't know we would be this good. I knew we'd be kind of good. I said maybe the Cowboys would still win the division because I know how Dallas gets. You know, at the end of the year, they like to win a lot of games and go into the playoffs with a little bit of fight and fury. So I didn't imagine 11-1. So my first question is, what do you guys think about the Eagles? And number two, I think that the Bengals are better equipped to beat a lot of AFC teams going into the playoffs. I think they're hitting their stride. And I think I would say their best kryptonite against the Chiefs is the Bengals can run the ball better than the Chiefs. The Chiefs don't really have a consistent running game, you know? So I just want to know what you guys think about the Bengals and the Eagles as far as their trajectories and going forward. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you, man, for the call.
Thanks, John.
Yeah, so the Eagles, the story for them right there, for one, the Eagles rushing game yesterday, like 67 total yards rushing. But Jalen Hurts, man, like, by the way, that's how you carve up a Titans defense. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just throwing that. That's what a real quarterback looks like. You know, I'm just joking. But how about Jalen Hurts yesterday? That, by the way, those numbers from him, that's not him. 380 yards, 3 touchdowns. Good for him. He balled out yesterday, and he's an MVP candidate. Don't get me wrong. But, like, that's not a guy. I mean, he's well above his season averages against a very good Titans defense. But I shouldn't say good defense. That's a bad passing defense. You could pass on the Titans. But Jalen Hurts did what good quarterbacks are supposed to do. The good quarterbacks' numbers should look inflated against bad passing defenses because that's you know what I mean? You're really, really good going up against the weakness. So good for Jalen Hurts. The run game wasn't super strong. They dominated the pass game. It's about the defense for Philly. In Philly, I'll take their defense over the Bengals defense, and I like the Bengals defense. So I think that's what really very good quarterback play, great on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, it's not really that difficult.
I love Philly.
NFC's bad.
The fact that they were giving up a lot of rushing yards to the Commanders, and another week they gave up a ton of rushing yards. Then Jordan Davis, the rookie from Georgia, comes back. They signed Ndamukong Suh. Run game stopped. People stopped running on them once Jordan Davis got back into the lineup. And I'm a huge Jalen Hurts fan. I said this when he was coming out of Oklahoma. I wanted the Pittsburgh Steelers to draft him. He'd be the next quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I love his moxie. I love his ability to run with the ball, you know, give that option. And I just, like, it's super cliche, but he does have that rah-rah, that leadership capability and vibe that you get from him. He's a leader of men type of quote. So I love Jalen Hurts, and I think the Philadelphia Eagles are definitely the team to beat in the NFC for sure, because I would love to see a Philadelphia Vikings NFC Championship game. I think that will be the most entertaining game.
Look out, though. My guy Baker. San Fran.
Chuba Purdy got it on lock, man.
Purdy.
Brock Purdy, I'm sorry. Chuba Purdy's his brother, goes to Nebraska, but Brock Purdy got it on lock. Insert quarterback stats.
It's pretty bad, and then we're going to see Baker Mayfield come in. And, look, Baker could win with an offensive line. He did in Cleveland. In fact, he beat your Pittsburgh Steelers. When Baker has an offensive line, he could win in the playoffs. We saw him do it against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
You do realize that, like, at some point we got to realize that that season wasn't the anomaly.
No. Nope. Last year he was hurt. Year before that he was healthy. I'm just saying.
What about second year?
What about the second year?
What about second year?
That was that trash Odell Beckham Jr. dude. By the way, Jerry
What
Jones,
about this year?
Don't do it.
What about this year?
Who the hell does Odell Beckham Jr. think he is demanding multi-year deal? Dude, are you kidding? In what universe do you think you deserve a multi-year deal? You could demand it, you could ask for it, but there's a reason no one's lining up to sign him. They want conversations with him, but Jerry Jones, do not sign him to a multi-year deal. Go get a real wide receiver in the offseason. My goodness. Anyways.
CeeDee Lamb needs some help out there.
CeeDee Lamb needs some help out there. You're right, he does. OBJ the answer for that?
I think so.
They're just don't. Dallas, don't. My goodness. All right. 518-1410. All right, enough of the black and the yellow. How about the Buckeyes? How about the scarlet and the gray?
Yes, sir!
So when I say this, how does it make y'all feel? The Buckeyes backdoored their way into the playoffs. Does that offend you? Or are some of you out there saying, yeah, that's exactly what they did? Let's talk about the Buckeyes. They backdoored their way into the playoffs. I ain't mad about it. I'm not mad about it at all. How about that Buckeye bias? I love me some Buckeye bias. I love it. I love it. We'll be right back.
The Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash. Presented by Brad Mays with Home Experts Realty. Weekdays at 3 p.m. on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Buckeye football season is back. That means tailgating and parties for the big game. You need the Lee's famous recipe Buckeye Bucket. It comes with 25 pieces of the delicious jumbo breast strips for only $44.99. Of course, you can add a few of their famous country side items, buttermilk biscuits, gallons of fresh brewed Lee's iced tea, or lemonade. You have the perfect recipe for a tailgate or watch party. Cheer on the Buckeyes this weekend with a Buckeye Bucket. Order today.
At the Montgomery County Veterans Service Commission, we help veterans and their dependents navigate the process of applying for benefits administered by the VA. We can assist with VA claims, pensions, and a variety of benefits, including emergency financial assistance, transportation, and legal services. If you are a veteran or a spouse of a veteran, a wide range of services may be available to you, always at no cost to the veteran. We are honored and proud to serve all Miami Valley veterans. Contact us today at 937-225-4801.
My dad has a cold, but also has high blood pressure. That's why I got him Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure for max strength daytime relief. Unlike some ordinary cold medicines, it's specially formulated for people like my dad. DayQuil High Blood Pressure is sugar-free, alcohol-free, and decongestant-free.
Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure. The daytime, non-drowsy, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, cold, and flu for people with high blood pressure.
Like my dad.
Medicine. Use as directed.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
When getting the job done right is job one, you need construction equipment that's built right. From compact track loaders to the world's #1 selling compact excavator, the Kubota construction lineup features durable Kubota engines, more comfort, and the versatility to do it all and do it right. Visit your local Kubota dealer today. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
See Columbus Equipment Company, 7570 New Carlisle Pike in Dayton.
You have empty office space to fill or home office to create. You know what you need. You know what you'd like. But you also have a pretty good idea after you've shopped around the usual places what you need and what you like might not happen. Well, then you haven't been to Charles Larrick's Warehouse Outlet. Nobody has their selection. Nobody has their discounts. And every week, there's something new. If you need office furniture, Larrick's Warehouse Outlet can sell it to you for half the price and below manufacturer's selected prices. Half price and below on hundreds of items. Selection from budget to the best. Really, desks from $50 to $5,000. Filing cabinets from $25 to $500. Before you go anywhere else, do yourself a favor and come to Larrick's Warehouse Outlet. With 25,000 square feet of selection, you're not going to go anywhere else. Larrick's Warehouse Outlet at 23 McOil Avenue, Dayton. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6. Larrick's, continuing the tradition.
Have you heard? $5,000 sign-on bonus. That's right. My friends at Cordell Transportation are now hiring Class A CDL drivers for home daily dedicated lanes, no-touch freight with brand new equipment, and offering a $5,000 sign-on bonus paid over 18 months, paid orientation, company 401k. Plus, they're now hiring recent truck driving school graduates. Apply today. Online at CordellTransportation.com. Driven to succeed.
This holiday, check out Origins, an immersive new Audible original series featuring artists like Billie Eilish telling their stories in their words. Listen now at audible.com/origins.
Meet Joe A,
Hi.
Joe B,
Hello.
and Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A is locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with AutoSave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect, support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
Could you please pass the potatoes?
Uncle Bob, why are you singing?
With all the rewards we are getting, with the Navy Federal Credit Union's cash rewards card, I hired a singing coach for caroling.
But it's summer.
Since we get up to 1.75% cash back on all our holiday purchases, there is cheer to last all year.
Please stop.
These potatoes are delicious, by the way.
Get cheer to last all year with Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA.
At the Home Depot, we have the tools to make gift-giving magic for all the DIYers on your list. If they prefer working on real homes over gingerbread houses, you can't go wrong with Makita Power Tools, like the 18-volt 2 tool kit for only $249, or the 18-volt compact circular saw for only $139. Get everything you need to get it done with new lower prices on Makita Power Tools only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
You want more local content from Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM? Make sure you subscribe to the WING 1410 Dayton YouTube channel, where you can watch all your local shows live, or go back and rewatch previous episodes of The Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, The Keith Byers Show, Talking Out Loud with Sully, and more.
Justin Kinner, Kev Nash, back with you here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. I'm Justin Kinner. He's Kev Nash.
What up, though?
All right. We got our NFL talk in. Fun weekend again. No hate from me. Bengals Super Bowl contenders. Not that you needed my stamp of approval, but like I joked earlier, Kev, it was very weird. I did not feel good after the show yesterday, so I slept all day yesterday. Watched the games, but just kind of in and out, falling asleep. And I didn't post anything on social media all day. Fell asleep. I woke up this morning to like 20 different people. What? Nothing to say? I mean, you guys are weird, man. Like, I'm flattered. Don't get me wrong. That at the end of a game, I'm the first person you think of. Like, well, I can't believe he didn't. What's he going to say? These people are just going to their feeds, just refreshing them. What's he going to say? What's he going to say? What's he going to say? And then I know when y'all get impatient because you'll go find a post that has nothing to do with anything just because it's something to write on just to try to get my attention with it. Not going to work. Not going to work. Good for the Bengals. Go Browns. Fun one this coming up Sunday. This past Saturday, we were at Reds Fest. Next hour, I'll have the interview that we had with Reds general manager Nick Kroll. A lot of really good stuff with Nick. Actually, I really like Nick. Nick was very, what's that called? When just very forthcoming on everything. Transparent.
Transparency.
A lot of transparency with him. I was told, I don't really care. I'll just be honest. There was a lot of things that was allowed and not allowed to go into. And I talked to him before we went live. I said, hey, is there anything I'm not allowed to touch on? Can we talk about the rebuild? He goes, oh yeah, anything. Ask me anything. I'm like, I like you. So we talked about, Tyler Stevenson and how they kind of view him moving forward. They are, internally discussing, they don't want to move him from catcher, but they're not dumb. They are very well aware that he plays a physical position. And if, they feel like last year there were some fluke injuries that they don't, envision seeing that popping up regularly. But if it does, they have admitted that they are open to potentially moving him if they have to, and utilizing the DH, which I think is very smart. So anyways.
And you mean move positions, right?
Or using him at first, moving. Oh my God, yes, relax. Moving him positions, yes, because I know how this fan base is a little PTSD. Where are they going to go? I mean, we'll find out. By the way, Phil Castellini, we had a good time with him. He did a good job coming on with us, but we weren't allowed to go certain places. In fact, people got mad, like you're supposed to grill him. Well, just so you guys know, the second he sits down, he realized he sat back, looked at me, and said, "No bull blank today, Kenner." Pointed at no BS today, Kenner. So he knew.
And there's a time and place for everything.
Yes. So
computer.
Yeah. Luckily, you're not looking at anything weird. I'm just saying.
Right. But there's Reds Fest isn't the venue for a grill session, and the fans that want to grill the ownership group or the GM, they're not the same fans that are coming to Reds Fest, if I'm not mistaken. Like, these fans are coming there for a good time, take the family out, go see some of the former players, get some autographs with some of the up and coming guys and stuff like that. I don't necessarily think that's like the venue now when they have their opening press conference for, the season, spring training. Like, those are the times that you can ask like real deep questions or follow-up questions, that things that have been burning and desiring in the fan base for all the off season. But I don't think like that's like the proper venue to just try to come down with the hammer or quote unquote gotcha type of media. Yeah. So Nick Kroll, Reds general manager, that interview from Reds Fest, we'll have that coming up in hour number 3. But just wanted to make sure I plugged that's coming up later on. How about this news? Jackson McGowan, big fan of his, star wide receiver out at Miamisburg. He put out a message just about 2 hours ago that he is, in his statement, after talks and careful consideration with family and coaches, we believe it is best that I look elsewhere. I will be decommitting from the University of Cincinnati. Please respect my decision. Bro, I beyond respect your decision. I applaud your decision. You should not go to Cincinnati. Do not play for that program. That program, oh my gosh, if you think I don't like the Bengals, I don't like the Bearcats at all. Now, this isn't about Jackson McGowan. I'm selfishly making this more about me. My fault. But first of all, good. That kid, so he committed to Cincinnati, and then he's had some breakout games since then. Like, I think he's going to get a lot of really good looks, and I think he's going to end up in a very good situation. Kev, I don't know why I'm investing so much into this Deion story, but like, if you are Cincinnati, you had a chance to a home run. You would have been the biggest, hottest news in college football. Colorado is leading major sports network shows today. I have heard Colorado galore. Cincinnati, the do-gooders that were too good for Deion Sanders. Give me a break.
Good for Colorado. Good for the Bison. Who the hell are Colorado? I know they're Buffalo. I know. But like Colorado, they don't even have the money to pay him. They just said, we got to do whatever we can to get him. Because you have to be relevant. You have to be relevant to today's football. I don't want to hear the do-gooder stuff of, well, we got to bring in a guy that's going to build a program and this. And what's Deion going to do? What, you think Deion's not going to build a program? You know what Deion's going to do? He's going to expedite that building of a program that you guys are so high and mighty on. A program. Give me a break. Win. That's what it comes down to, especially today in the transfer portal era. It's not about you think the 300 players that have already announced are going to the portal, including my guy Jackson McGowan. You think he's sitting back saying, man, I want a good guy that he's a program builder. He's just going to mold us. What do you think Deion's going to do? Like, Deion is going to get the best of the best to come to Colorado. He would have got the best of the best to come to Cincinnati. This is ridiculous. Cincinnati ends up getting the guy from Louisville, which, by the way, if this was the guy that they got the second that Fickle left and there was no hubbub about him being interested in Cincinnati, no word from me. You wouldn't hear a word from me. But Cincinnati, I'm disappointed in them. I think this is a mistake. You're going the other thing on top of it, Kev, you're going into the Big 12. You had to make a splash because transitioning over there is going to be hard. They made the college football playoff last year. They only lost 2 games this year, whatever it was, 3 games. But let's be clear, all the wins, they struggled to beat the little All-American Conference teams. They're not on their way to transitioning into the Big 12 next year, Kevin, going to blow everyone, by storm. They would have done that with Deion Sanders. Maybe not in 2023, but in 2024, my goodness, look out. So I can't wait to see the rise of Colorado. Big fan of Deion Sanders. Kudos to Colorado. They were joking. They come out like, we don't really have the money to pay him. We don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to do it. I love that. People are saying how bad and embarrassing that is. To me, Kev, what that screams is they understand the importance of maybe a little desperate, but they also know what's at stake here. Schools and the futures of these athletic programs are on the line, Kev. We don't know who's going to be on the outside looking in when it's all said and done. And I truly believe that any program that has Deion Sanders, any conference is going to want them. If these programs become free agents, the SEC, the Big Ten, they will go diving for the program that has Deion Sanders because of the interest level, the money, the eyes, the revenue, everything. I think Cincinnati, they made a ginormous freaking mistake. And I think that that's going to really slow them down. My family. That's really going to slow them down. Moving over, transitioning into the Big 12. Kev, I'm really disappointed in the Bearcats. I've talked to a couple people that cover the team that said they did not make an effort. They did not make a good, strong effort at all. That Deion, the reason Cincinnati kept getting brought up, Kev, was because Deion brought them up, not because Cincinnati was going hard after him. That's a mistake, Kev, in my opinion. And I know all. It's a mistake.
Ouch. That's all I can really say is ouch. Look, man, you're not going to win the press conference with Scott Satterfield versus Deion Sanders. You're just not. And half of winning the press conference now is about recruiting. You're just not going to win it at all. So Scott Satterfield, obviously he came from App State to Louisville, and he not bad. Not bad, coach. He all right. But he's not Deion Sanders. He's not going to move the needle like Deion Sanders. And like you said, in today's climate in college football, where it's always been about recruiting. It's always been about recruiting. But now, not only are you recruiting high school talent, you're recruiting talent that is on other teams for guys that hit the transfer portal. And for Deion Sanders being at Jackson State, being able to get guys out of the transfer portal to come to Jackson State, a HBCU, and then also be able to get Kevin Coleman, a 4-star receiver, and Travis Hunter, the #1 overall player in the country, to come to Jackson State as well. And this is not try to disparage HBCUs, but outside of Walter Payton, I can't think of another person that went to Jackson State. This Jackson State isn't the HBCUs of Howard or Hampton or FAMU, or even Clark, Atlanta. There is levels to HBCUs as well. And, it's all about money. So for Deion Sanders to have the ability to recruit people to come there and to be almost like a Pied Piper of sorts, to bring in talent, talent is the first acquisition that you need to make in college football or in all college sports. You coach up the talent afterwards. So it's a huge miss for Cincinnati. And this goes back to the question that I was asking you or asking the listeners last week. Based on the climate in Cincinnati, based on how not just the university, but the city in itself are they open-minded enough to have a Deion Sanders as their head coach? I don't want to get into politics or anything like that, but those type of things do play a role in hiring a head coach, a look of a head coach, a style of a head coach, having a head coach be the face of the program. And I mean, we talk about this with Jim Tressel, sweater vest. He's the senator. The vest is the best. Like, it's a style. It's a style that fit Ohio State then, but then we went on to a rock star coach in Urban Meyer. So was the city and was the University of Cincinnati ready for a rock star type of head coach? I say yes, because you're entering a new conference. You're not going to stay in the American. Has Scott Satterfield been able to build up a program the way Deion Sanders was Deion Sanders had ran a high school football program, built it from the ground up. He's, helped Jackson State come from the bottom to get to where they are now. So he's had the ability to build programs. And I think this is a huge miss for Cincinnati. So if the rumors are true that Cincinnati wouldn't return Deion Sanders' phone calls, for goodness sakes, that's a huge miss and a great opportunity for Colorado, because the transfer portal has over 400 kids in it right now, 4 and 5 stars all over the place. And I'm sure a lot of those guys are going to end up in Colorado.
Yes, and this came from Josh Maloney. He said, is his son transferring with him? Yes. To be fair, not fair. I don't know what to be fair. With that question, you go look at the introductory press conference for Deion. Deion already making a lot of headlines because, some people you got to protect the feelings of the players. But Deion said, hey, by the way, he told his son to stand up because and he looked at his play. That's your new quarterback. And he pointed over to his son. Now, he did say he'll have to earn it and all that, but, that's not how it's framed. It's Deion, oh, that ain't going to work. That ain't going to work in a Division I locker room and blah, blah, blah. Deion controls the room. Yeah. You're right. Some coaches couldn't. If I was a head coach, I couldn't go pull that off.
Yeah.
Deion can, because the players know, players know who's for real and who's not. Deion's for real. He, as far as the people person, Deion, here's the other thing about Deion. He will fail if he doesn't put the right coaches around him.
Right.
That's the same for anybody.
Yeah.
But Deion, I'll take his personality, and he will relate to every player. This isn't white, black, Asian, Hispanic. It has nothing to do with any of that. From a human being standpoint, there's not one human that he can enter a room with and not win the room. I'm just amazed that not more teams were aggressive in going to get him. I heard Stephen A. talk about this earlier today with Auburn. That was just foolish for them to not full court press to go get him.
I mean, they got Hugh Freeze, and Hugh Freeze is a good coach. I'm not mad at that. I mean, if you're going to get somebody and it's not Deion Sanders, I wouldn't be mad that they got Hugh Freeze. That's not a bad consolation prize in my eyes. But for UC with Scott Satterfield, that is a consolation prize. That's a C. That's a C higher, because guess what? The Brom at Purdue, when Louisville hires him, because that's where he went to school and played quarterback, when they hire him, they've upgraded at the head coaching position.
How long was the other guy there that just signed with Cincinnati or was hired by Cincinnati? He was only there a couple of years.
Satterfield, I think Satterfield was there for like 4 years.
So
whatever, he got there the year after Lamar.
Now, Brom turned that Louisville job down the last time.
Yeah.
So interesting. Will he take it this time? I mean, I don't know. He was just in the Big Ten championship. I don't know. Everyone assumes that's where Brom's going to go, but I did find it very interesting that I thought the Louisville job was sexier 4 years ago than it is now, and he turned it down 4 years ago. So,
well, we're definitely going to see what happens, because as of
Brom might want to stay in the Big Ten.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, Louisville had their best recruiting class of all time. Obviously, early signing period is coming up in a couple of weeks, and so it's not official until people sign. But they had a top 15 recruiting class. Now, if Satterfield is able to convince all those dudes that were going to go to Louisville to come to Cincinnati, and the Cincinnati comes with a top 15 recruiting class, then hey, we'll all shut up, right?
Yep.
But if he's not able to keep those guys, I mean, he's losing guys right now. Jackson McGowan's going to be losing him, going to be losing another young man from the area soon if they don't make a phone call. So,
Boom. And by the way, I think it's smart. Every time a coach leaves, I think every player that's not like locked in, I think every player should not opt out, but reopen up their
of course,
mainly because I think, like, I don't think and Jackson McGowan could very well easily end up back at Cincinnati.
Yeah.
That could change. But again, the coach was just announced. You think the coach has called Jackson McGowan yet? No. But what this allows Jackson McGowan to do now is, with, in good faith, be able to now take more on-site visits with some other schools. I think his, the attention he's getting has increased significantly from this past season. I know the team wasn't very good, but Jackson McGowan's a real deal. I can't wait to watch him play on Saturday. So I know, look, I tease Buckeyes. We spend a lot of time on that. But someone brought up Tommy Tuberville. Yes. Now it makes sense.
Exactly. Exactly. Go do your homework on that situation. Go do your Googles, and you'll know exactly where I'm coming from when I ask the question, was Cincinnati ready for a Deion Sanders type of coach? That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say.
Tracy Hatfield says, I read an article that said Deion told the existing Colorado players to be ready to hit the portal. He did. Deion is like, I watched that video and it got a lot of criticism and stuff. And I was just dying laughing. He basically said, he goes, there's going to be changes coming here. He basically said, to be fair, I think tomorrow's show I'm going to play the clip because I don't want to talk, try to say what I think he means. But the way I perceived it, he told his players that were all in that team, in that room, changes are coming. This fan base has been dying for a winner. And, if you're not ready to be a part of the change, hit the portal. Like, that's kind of how I viewed what his message was. Other people are like, oh, that's not how you win over the room. If Deion has it his way, there's 400 guys in the transfer portal. If he has to replace every single guy in that roster, he will. And I don't it's scary. It's dangerous, but Colorado's playing with house money at this point. Hell, they don't even have their own money at this point. It's an exciting time for Colorado. It would have been an even more exciting time for Cincinnati. Shame on them, but it may all work out. Maybe Cincinnati, maybe we're wrong.
Yeah, maybe Satterfield's the guy.
So, and maybe he is, and more power to him. But I don't have a problem with him. It's the higher ups. It's
not Satterfield's fault.
Yeah, so
it's not his fault.
I hope he succeeds. Is there an hour south from here? Oh, where are you this with the Bengals, kidder? Yeah, boo them. But no, you see what I mean. We're good. Buckeyes, we have about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Buckeyes backdoor their way into the playoff. We're going to spend a lot of time in the Buckeyes, so I don't mean to rush this.
No, you're good. I mean, yeah, they backdoor their way in there. And if we want to say so did TCU and so did Alabama before, so be it. I don't care. I don't know what the big deal is. I don't know why people are bent out of shape about the term backdooring your way in there. Would you rather them be sitting at number 5? Would you have them all just on the outside looking in? We're in there. We have an opportunity to play the defending champs in their backyard, to punch our ticket to the national championship game. Go get it done. I know news just came out about Jackson Smith and Jigba declaring for the NFL draft, not playing in this ball game. It's much to do about nothing. He gave it a try multiple times after being injured, and I'm sure that all the information about his injury is going to come out sooner or later. Just do yourself a favor. Go back on YouTube or on Twitter, wherever you get your information from. Look at that tackle again against Notre Dame. Did that look like a normal tackle? Did that really look like a hamstring type of situation? I'm sure there's something else on there. And it ain't like he didn't try to play multiple times during the season. He tried to go out there, got hurt. Tried to go back out there, got hurt again. So, I mean, judging off of that, he probably would have went out there in the Peach Bowl and got hurt again. So he hasn't played all season. He won't be the reason why they won't win or won't, because he hasn't played this season. It isn't like, oh, man, he played all season, had 2,000 yards receiving, 20 touchdowns, going to be going up to the Heisman Trophy ceremony and got hurt versus that team up north. Now we going into the championship without him. We've been playing without him. So the other guys are just going to have to step up and get it done.
Yeah, no Jackson Smith and Jigba. Called it from earlier in the year. I just felt, first of all, that's not technically true. He tried multiple times to come back. This is not the Nick Bosa situation. He, announced that he's going to be turning his focus towards the NFL draft, as he should. My big thing is don't leave campus. You've been to every practice. You've been to every game. There's one more, the important one. But this is interesting, though, because the important ones, if there's a bowl game, I get it. But it's a playoff game, and he's still like, no, I'm out. Deuces. Peace. That's interesting. But he's not going to play, so it doesn't matter. He's physically not able to play.
Right.
I think there's more to it. I think this injury, to your point, was a lot bigger than just a hamstring issue. But they don't owe us anything. They don't owe us an explanation. But when you don't owe us an explanation, that's when my crazy conspiracy theories come to play. I think he opted out of the season without opting out of the season a long time ago. I think the Buckeyes remembered. I'm going to kill the music here. I'm not really. This isn't a hot take. It might be viewed as a hot take. I don't know. Nick Bosa, when this happened years ago, when he got hurt in the middle of the year, and then went and moved in with Joey in San Diego at the time when the Chargers were in San Diego, and me especially, there was major backlash against Joey Bosa or Nick Bosa.
Killing in the boards.
Because he's hurt, he's out for the rest of the year. But like your leadership, you're the best player on that defense. You should still like stick it out with your team. Don't say, well, I got to focus on preparing for the draft, as if the medical facilities and all the training facilities in Ohio State, you know, they make no money. It's just a bum little campus, you know, whatever. I just thought that was a bad look. And then I got even more angry at the Rose Bowl that year when he was on the sideline with his teammates. Oh, I came to support my teammates. Where were you the previous weeks? Where were you all those other weeks? I had a problem with that from Nick Bosa. I wasn't the only one. Former players were voicing their frustration that it wasn't a good look. I think when Jackson Smith-Njigba made this decision, in my opinion, I feel like that messaging was being kind of delivered down. Like, hey, I don't want you to get the same backlash that Nick Bosa did. We'll just keep listing you day to day, week to week, each week, knowing damn well he was never going to play. We did the over-unders or whatever it was, or cap or no cap. Jackson Smith-Njigba played his last game. I've been saying for months that he's played his last game for Ohio State. I just felt like that's what this situation was. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But don't blame me for speculating. Blame the Buckeyes, because they could have just fixed this a long time ago with just saying what the heck it was. But to be fair, maybe they didn't know what it was. But
got hurt, obviously, versus Notre Dame in September. Tried to come back versus Toledo, 2 catches, 33 yards. Got hurt in that game. Then he tried to come back for the Iowa game on October 22nd. I was at that game. I saw him make the catch, and then I saw him limp off the field, and that was it. So, like you said earlier, this isn't like, oh, man, he got hurt, and the Notre Dame game is said, I'm out, I'm done, forget this. He tried to come back multiple times. It just ain't work out. It is what it is.
Yep, Ron Broadstock on Facebook said opportunity is the key word. I'm excited about that, but I really feel like they've underperformed all year. Talking about Ohio State, they have not underperformed. They haven't looked as crisp in all their 40 and 50-point thrashings of teams all year, but I mean, I don't feel like they've underperformed. Guys, you guys are being crybabies about the Michigan game. I called you guys all out of it after the Michigan game. You're being spoiled, entitled fans. We lost to Michigan, so we don't deserve anything else. You all told me the reason Michigan's so important is because you can't win a championship without beating Michigan. That's not true. They're in the playoff, competing for a championship. So your theories are all wrong. You've been fed this propaganda about this weird greatest rivalry in all of sports thing. Oh, the reason it's so big is because you can't go to the playoffs unless you beat Michigan. Well, you can't go to the playoffs if you lose to Purdue, apparently. You can't go to the playoffs if you lose to Iowa. So are they your greatest rivals ever? No. Michigan, you lost to them for the second straight year, and you're in the playoff, and you're facing Georgia, and you're going to have a chance to win a national championship after. I don't want to hear about that Michigan game anymore. That Michigan game's in the past, just like in previous years. The Iowa loss is in the past. You put all the losses in the past, and you focus on what's coming up. That's all that freaking matters. My goodness, Alabama fans were fighting us all on social media that their team deserved to be in the playoff. They had 2 losses. They weren't sitting there saying, well, we lost to Tennessee. We don't deserve to be in the playoff. No, they said, oh, well, we lost to Tennessee. That's a top 10 team we should be in. Ohio State, we lost to the number 2 team in the country. We don't deserve to be in. You bunch of crybabies. Get over it. And now y'all want to be all woo-woo, go Buckeyes, woo-woo-woo-woo, all that stuff. No. Y'all cried last week. Some of y'all crying this week. You're being negative. We don't need no negative people. Ohio State won the national championship as the 4th seed back in 2014. They're the 4th seed again. They're going to do it again. Stop with the negativity. Stop with the negativity. All y'all annoying Buckeye fans. My goodness, you don't know how to lose. Apparently,
We don't.
My goodness, act like you've lost before.
We haven't.
Ryan Day's your coach. You're gonna lose a lot moving.
Whoa.
I'm joking, of course. I'm happy for Ryan Day. Ryan Day deserves this because my goodness, I think it's been very unfair. You know, I know everything. That one game's all that matters. Stop it. Stop saying that's the only game that matters. It may mean a lot, but I think it's very unfair to try to run a coach out that's 45-5 all time at Ohio State, kicks ass in recruiting, top 20, top 5, top 10 every year, playoffs every year but one since he's been here. Now we're going to say he needs to be out because he lost to that team up north.
He's an interim.
Hello, Mikey. My gosh, it's a sad day when Kinner has to be the more positive Buckeye fan than all of you out there.
Very true.
We'll be right back.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash.
Justin, you're awesome, baby.
Right here on 1410 ESPN Radio.
I'll second guest dinners with friends because they can be interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools.
It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe